Well, hey kids, can anybody hear me out there? Does anybody really know what time it is? Does anybody really care? Can anybody hear me out there? Give me a nod or hello if you can see and hear me. Hello, farts and glory. Hey Dave, everything's irie with Dave. John Boring, smoking. Nice to see you here. Hey Darren Dar, Terry. Hey, Mike. Hey, Rhonda. Thank you so much for being my moderator once again. Hello, Sorrenti. I assume since you said great song, you guys can hear me. Vero Beach, cool. Yep, you can hear me. Hey, Johnny Hag, how you doing? New Jersey to Florida, loud and clear. Awesome, dudes. Very cool. Very cool. Well, it's cloudy, overcast day up here in Alaska, and man, am I getting tired of this cold up here. It was so cold in the cabin yesterday morning, I actually had to light a fire in the wood stove. This is ridiculous. 41 degrees in the cabin. I closed the window last night, so it wasn't so cold this morning, but still chilly out there. Hello from Minnesota. Hello, Brad Bowe. Douglas Deaton from Iowa. Des Moines. I drive through Des Moines quite a bit, or at least I used to, and I will again soon. Hello, Lord Vader. Yeah, everyone, please do give us a thumbs up. Please do like and subscribe if you would. We greatly appreciate that. Hello, Christine. How are you, darling? Well, it looks like we're getting everybody. All the usual characters are showing up. That's awesome. That's awesome. I have absolutely nothing on the agenda today. Nothing whatsoever. Just thought I would get on here and talk to y'all and answer some questions maybe and just have a pleasant hour or so. Brian O'Brien. Grandpa ex-wife got half the farm and half the house in Florida. Sorry to hear that, man. Sorry to hear that. Carl and Jenny, hey guys, glad you made it up. You're still awake over there in UK. Midnight for you guys. Thanks for showing up at our chat tonight. Guys, I did not show up at your chat tonight, Carl and Jenny. I showed up at your chat this morning. What time? I don't remember what time yours. No, actually, you weren't so early this morning. Sailing Ruby Rose was really early this morning. 6 a.m. my time, they were doing one. So, way too early. Hello, Christy Duvall. Yeah, you saw me on Ruby Rose. That was way too early for me up here in Alaska. Maybe once I get over on the East Coast next month, it'll be a lot easier. Saying hello from SoCal. Hey, whole shot. Nice to see you. How's things in Southern California? No doubt bright and sunny. Although they had some fires over there. I think Southern California got control of their fires, though. I hope, anyway. Darn Dar, thumbs up. Okay, appreciate it, dude. Like to see that. I had to put Miss Lily in her crate for this evening because she's just been, I don't know, she's been more needy than usual. She's usually pretty needy and up my butt all the time, but for some reason today she's really been insisting that I play with her a lot, and I've been trying to, but, you know, took her out for a while and played earlier today for a bit. But for some reason today she's just very needy. I think she can sense at this point that there's some changes going on, and I think it's making her a little nervous about what those changes may entail. So we'll have to see what happens. So, yep, late in the UK, but stayed up to watch. Well, hey, Sean, I appreciate that. For those of you guys in the UK, I'm also doing now, I've started doing a Wednesday live stream. I'm going to be doing it at 9 a.m. East, well, 9 a.m. for me, Alaska time, which I think is around 5 or 6 p.m. for you guys there in the UK. Trying to put it at a more reasonable time frame for you guys so you don't have to stay up till midnight to participate in a live stream. So I think I'm going to go to 2 live streams a week. So any news on Megan joining you in Puerto Rico? No, I've not heard anything from Megan. Last I heard, I think she's somewhere between Texas and Kansas visiting family. I don't know the details of all of that. Occasionally she'll put a post on Instagram or something, but no, I don't have any definite word from Megan yet. So What time is it at my place now? It is 3:05 in the afternoon up here in Alaska, Carl and Jenny. You're packing. Oh, yeah, I'm packing. Yep, getting rid of most everything. What's left, I am packing and consolidating down. Man, that's hard. That's hard, you know, take 40 years or 50 years of stuff that I've collected and just trying to get it down into something manageable is very difficult. So Mike Smith says, good morning from Gippsland Lakes, Australia. Wow, cool. Watched your dive video. You need to shed some gear weight. So many snorkels, too many different batteries for torches, KISS principle rules on a boat. Yes, Mike, I agree. However, these are things that I've just collected over the years, and I'm going to be now starting a 8 to 10 year circumnavigation. So, you know, I'm going to put some away for later and use some as I use them, and they will all get consumed, I am sure. As to the extra snorkels, you know, I'm probably going to gift those away to people as I'm traveling, just because I have way too many of them. I have too many masks too, but masks tend to get broken or get lost, so I may hold on to them. But the snorkels that have the little floaty in the top or have the diaphragm in the bottom, that I don't like that kind. I will be giving those away to people during my travel. So no problem there, and I agree completely. The KISS principle is definitely the way to go. Lily will adjust. She'll be much happier on the sea than in the cold. Yeah, once she gets on the boat and sheds hair. But keep in mind, Alaska is all she's known. I bought her a year and a half ago. She was born in October. I bought her a year ago, December. So she's a year and a half old now, and all she's known is Alaska and cold. So it's going to be interesting to see how she can deal with the heat and the sand and the water. It's going to be a big change for her, but she'll get accustomed to it. She'll get there. Carl's birthday is very soon. Yes, my birthday is on the 11th. So, yep, 5 more days. Your dive gear might fill the V-berth on its own. Actually, you'd be surprised, Dave. It does pack up into a fairly small area. There is a under the seating storage on the back of the CNC down in one of the holds, and I'm pretty sure I should be able to get almost all of my dive gear into that. But I still have to fit a dive compressor and my tanks, which take up some room too. So we'll see how all of that. Darwin Dar like that, the sailboats and stuff. Hello, Carolyn Harmon. Grandpa is a sailing cowboy. Well, yes, but not all at the same time. Very definitely been a cowboy during my life. I've owned hundreds of horses, ran a riding stable in Ohio for many years. Spent a lot of time horseback. So it'll be interesting to see how well I change from that. You're Leo 2. Yes, I am a Leo 2. I think that's what you meant to say. Yes, Leo. Yep. Well, let's be the first to say happy birthday. Well, thank you, Carl and Jenny. Yep, I will be 5'9", the big 5'9", in 5 days. So, have you figured out your solar yet? Sun power seems to be #1 in panels, but unbelievable. Actually, Mike, Bob White from Sailing Doodles had put solar panels and all the brand new batteries on the CNC. So I believe it is pretty well set up with solar, with a solar system. However, I'm going to have to get on the boat and you know, double check it, run it down, do some comparison, do some testing. In fact, I don't even know. I think it's like 600 amp hours of battery storage and solar panels on the boat. But I'm going to have to verify that and check it and see how well all of that works. So it'll be a little bit of time getting that figured out. But I think it's all set up and good to go. I really do. I think it's all set up and good to go. But we'll find out here pretty quickly as we get the boat and get going with stuff. We'll know very quickly. So let's see. Thank you, Canary. Okay, Rhonda, good girl. Rhonda's such a great person. For what hole shot? For what hole? Oh, you're asking hole shot. What for? Okay. Papa, do you know what's going on with SD? No show for 2 weeks. Bob is in transition right now. In fact, he just announced that he's going to be doing a live stream tomorrow I don't remember what time it was, but Selling Doodles will be doing a live stream tomorrow. And it'll be from California. Bob's en route right now going over to look at another boat. What's the freshwater capacity of the CNC? I believe it's a 60-gallon holding tank for fresh water. But I'll be adding a water maker, I think, maybe, so that will change that. Hey, Grizz, how you doing, buddy? Hey, Weigold. I was eating hands full typing. Okay. Howdy, Grandpa. Big Paw from Texas. Hey, Steve. Nice to see you. Welcome. What type of video do you have planned for this week? Oh, Christy, I don't know. I did a few videos this past week, guys. You probably noticed a lot of content all of a sudden coming out of old Grandpa. I did an unpacking video for a couple of books that I got, and I'm going to touch base on them in just a moment. I've got a lot of other stuff coming in, so I may be doing like another unpacking video, talk about some of the stuff coming in, although that's not real exciting stuff. I may do a packing video of my fishing gear, the rods and reels and tackle and nets and traps and all that stuff that I'm taking with me. So I may try to put together a packing video on all that gear. We'll see, Christy. I'm not 100% sure just yet. Any trepidations about upcoming ocean adventures? Is it quite a change in so many ways? Lord Vader, I have a lot of trepidations. I have a lot of concerns, frankly. Will I be able to get in and out of a dinghy? I used to be able to do it without a problem, but now I'm carrying an extra person with me. So until I can lose the weight and get back in shape, I have some real concerns about my abilities. But, the only way I'm going to do it is to get out there and do it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get out there and do it. Good to see you again, Ann. Today was, well, B&B in about 5 minutes. Dinner is ready. Be right back. Oh, okay. Hey, Keith. Nice. No problem. Enjoy your dinner. Doodles is at 4 p.m. Okay. 4 p.m. At what time zone, Smoking? Because I think for me, it's a different time zone. A different time because I'm in a different zone. Fishing gear video would be awesome. Okay. Well, then I will plan on doing a fishing packing video in the next couple of days. And then on Wednesday, I'll be doing another live stream at about 5 or 6 p.m. England time. About 9 a.m. East, about 9 a.m. Alaska time. So it's at 9, 10, 11, 12, 1 o'clock Eastern time in the afternoon. I'm trying to do something so the people on the other side of the planet can see them as well. How do you time the sales of your trucks and big stuff? Bubba, I'm going to go to Florida and get the boat, go to Florida, fly to Puerto Rico, get the boat, bring it back to Puerto Rico, and then unload everything out of the truck and trailer and advertise it for sale. And I'll have to just wait there in Florida until it sells, hopefully in a week or two, and then I'll be able to head out. But in the meantime, I'm going to use that truck to really stock up the boat, because after I leave Florida, I plan on being in the Bahamas for 6 months. And I'd really like to acquire most of the items I'm going to need for food-wise in the Bahamas for 6 months. I want to buy that from the States because I can save a lot of money doing that. Sorry about the plastic bottles. I had a neighbor of mine come over and bring me a case of water. I don't know why. He just came over. He said he had been given a whole bunch of water by some group up here, and he came over and brought me a case of water. So I have a case of bottled water. Weird. 7 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. Have you checked with Bobby on the latest time the boat had a bottom job? SV Kula, Bob had the bottom was done just before Bob bought it a year ago, October. And in fact, this past week, he had the boat bottom cleaned in Puerto Rico. The boat and the dinghy both had their bottoms cleaned in Puerto Rico, which lets me know that the dinghy's sitting in the water. I was surprised. I would have thought he would have put that up on deck, but apparently the dinghy's in the water as well. So it might be worth making up a tarp on standard to catch rainwater when at anchor if you don't have a water maker at the start. Yeah, of course, we'll rig up some sort of rain catching device. Get sleeping on your day off. Okay, some of them are going by too fast. I can't catch up. Homemade booze. No, that was no beer. No beer yet. I'll get to a beer probably later on, but not just yet. As soon as you talk about your weight, your fans worry about how you will function on the sea. I know, I'll hold my beer. You know, whole shot, it's... guys, sailing is not physically demanding. I don't care who you are or what they claim. I see so many of these guys whining and putting together videos about how rough this life is. You know, for the most part, you're sitting on your butt. And, you know, you get up and you make a sail change. So what do? I let go of the rope over here, and I pull the rope over here, and I turn the rudder. This is not a lot of physical exercise. This does not constitute a workout, changing the sail plan. I will get much more exercise by going for my daily swim every day around the boat and under the boat than I do from anything else. So being overweight, sailing isn't an issue. The trick is I really like to swim, and I'm looking forward to getting in the water and swimming as a way of losing weight, and that, and well, frankly, attitude. You know, I've been trying to refine my motivation and refine my happiness, guys. I've been so bummed and depressed for so long. Sitting up here in this cabin is still keeping me depressed and bummed, and so the first thing I'm going to do as I leave here is I'm going to try to find my joy back in my body and in my life, and try to get myself in a happy place again. Not been in a happy place in a long time. I had a 20-year bad marriage that ended up in a divorce. And since then, it's been 2 years of having to clean up all the mess from that divorce and the property and getting it sold. All of this is going to come to a head at the end of this month, at the end of October, end of August. We're supposed to be closing by the end of August. So I'm really looking for a huge change in attitude from me. And I think you guys will see that in the videos and stuff that I'm producing. Thank you, Darren Dar. I appreciate that. And yes, I'm convinced I will be just fine. So, no, I missed a comment or two there. It's only as physical as you make it. Yeah, it's sailing isn't the hard part, you know. What's nice, though, is that, you know, not having a car, I'm going to try to walk everywhere. I don't want a bicycle. I want to walk everywhere to go get my groceries, walk everywhere to go get stuff for the boat. It'll do me a world of good. So, really looking to a much healthier lifestyle. And thank you for the good wishes on getting to move forward, everybody. I appreciate that. Darwin Dar, really appreciate that. Sailing is like war, hours and hours of boredom punctuated by moments of sheer terror. Yes, Johnny Hegg, that is true. And of course, my big fear is during those moments of sheer terror, do I have the physical ability to be able to do what I need to do? You know, look, I already know I'm not going up the mast. So if it's necessary for somebody to go up the mast, it isn't going to be me. I'd break the rigging. I already know I'm not going to be the guy that's going to have to climb down into the holes to fix stuff that's mounted up underneath the deck. I'm just not going to fit in there, so it's not going to be me. I'll have to hire those aspects out. But as to the rest of it, I won't have a problem with it. So, let's see. Hey, Georgia boy. Just a peace of mind will be the best therapy. Absolutely. My happy place. I'm glad that you like that I'm honest. I just don't know how to be anything else, you know. Some people tell me, like my ex-wife tells me, I overshare. And maybe I do overshare. Is that such a bad thing? I don't think so. So... yes, Lily will love the walks, and she will love the swims, which is something that she's going to have to get accustomed to, something she's not really accustomed to. Did you catch the latest winds video, Bahamas coverage? Yeah, I did catch the latest video by the winds. I found it odd that they've been sailing for like 5, 6, 7 days, and they haven't even gotten out of the Bahamas, and they're on the way to the canal. It just seems like it's taking them forever just to get out of the Bahamas. I don't know why they don't get going with it. So, hey, Second Chance Sailing. Hey, guys, Second Chance. I saw you were trying to get your live stream up, but didn't do it. When are you guys going to start doing live streams? For those of you who don't know, Second Chance Sailing is another YouTube creator doing sailing videos. So, you know, click on them and like them if you wish. Good folks, but I saw they're going to try to start doing a live chat. I just don't know when they're going to do it. We're home base while in Florida, Miami. Bubba, probably down in the Florida Keys, probably Marathon Key. I have some history in that area. I've got some friends down there, and it's a good place to hang out. Georgia boy, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. Get things started this evening. That is awesome. Do sailing vessels and motor vessels get along as poorly as they do? Yes. Motor vessels tend to have very little respect for the problems that sailing vessels have, and so they're always at odds with one another. This week, okay, Second Chance, good to know. You're going to start doing live streams this week. We'll have to tune in for them and catch them. I've been subbed to their channel for a while. Great sailor folks. Good. Thank you, Georgia boy. I really do appreciate that, man. That's awful nice of you. And every little bit really helps. So every little bit helps a lot. We're going to be on a real tight grandpa as we're getting going. So it's going to be a tight budget for a while we get started. Let's see, what else we got? Naples, Florida. Grandpa, been there, done that 20 years ago. And this will all pass, and you'll be better off at the end, Patrick. Well, thanks, Patrick. I appreciate that. Yes, there's a very bright light at the end of the tunnel. That much I do see at this point. So, looking forward to it. Hey, Marie. Yes, better late than ever. I'm glad to see you here. Marie, I appreciate the heads up earlier. I had forgotten. Well, I didn't forget. I was just preoccupied with other stuff and almost missed Carl and Jenny's live stream. And Marie texted me saying that they were on, so I was reminded and got on there. So that was much appreciated, Marie. Okay, let's see. One of the issues of honesty and oversharing, I find that people always demand honesty and truth right up to the point that you give it to them. Yeah, Dave. There's actually a lot to that. There's actually quite a bit to that. There's a lot of folks that, want you to be honest until you are honest, and then they freak out a little bit and have a hard time accepting some of that honesty. I've actually had some folks private message me through the channel telling me that maybe I should be a bit more careful about the things that I say. And, I shoot my mouth off and I get myself in trouble from time to time. But I'm going to be straight up honest, tell you exactly how I feel every time. And that will get me in trouble in some areas. And it's just the way it is. So Bubba says, I like marathon. Well, good. Marie, my pleasure. Excellent. Carl and Jenny, thank you for that. I really appreciate you guys becoming patrons. That's really awesome. I'm kind of in a dilemma, just so you guys know. I am a patron for a few channels right now, 7 or 8, I think. And I'm going to be in a real problem because once I leave Alaska, I no longer have an income. I no longer have a job, and so I may have to stop my patronage for the other channels just because for the time being I don't have any money. I'm literally taking the savings that I have from the sale of the property, what I have left, and I have to live on that for, well, effectively the rest of my life or until I can develop some other income. So it's going to be a tough time for a little bit, but I'm game for it. Don't change a thing. We love how honest you are. Well, thanks, Whole Shot. I appreciate that. Tell Carl not to cut his hair off. I need to cut my hair. It's too long. It's getting long. I have to take it off, and I'm going to shorten the beard, too. Especially when I get down in the tropics. When I get to the tropics, I just may go straight bald. I may take it all off. Be like a bowling ball. I'll be as bald as a bowling ball, because just, hair is just a pain in the neck. So Rhonda thinks I shouldn't cut it. I don't know. I'll let you guys vote on that. But while you're doing that, I'm going to grab something here real quick. Stuff's falling all over me. All right, sorry about that. So, in my one video I did, Carl, cut your hair, be really warm in the tropics. Yes, there we go. Big beards rules. Okay, well, but big beards are hot, Big beards are hot, so Sorry if I look like an idiot up here. I'm just trying to read some of these things. So, really disagree with canary. Hair needs to cut it all off. There you go. Grandpa the Raven, a 37-foot boat, took us 3 of us. 2 was a skeleton crew. Brian's boat, you sure will be okay. Okay. Thanks, Judy. Hey, Judy, how you doing? Are you afraid of getting fried in the hot sun? No, I wear a hat. I'm bald and love not having hair. It's just a little more face to wash. There you go, Keith. And less hair to wash, so it's easier to maintain. So, yes, you'll most likely at least want to get rid of the face of that beard bear look. There you go. Yeah, up here in Alaska, this is fine, but when I'm in the tropics, biggest problem with facial hair is it makes my mask, my scuba mask, leak. The hairs along here let water get in and my mask leaks, and then I get water in my mask, and that's a problem to be dealing with that on a regular basis. So, cut hair, shave beard, fresh start. There you go, Marie. I kind of like that. I like that a lot. Huh. And while we're talking here, you were asking about Megan earlier. Megan just posted something on Instagram. I don't know what it is. I haven't looked at it yet. So, new season in life, new look. There you go. All right, guys. Well, next week when I'm doing my live stream, maybe by Wednesday, actually, maybe this afternoon, because I'm going to go run over and take a shower this afternoon. It's all going. I'm going to go butt naked. Well, head naked anyway. So, another video. Yeah, the mask makes the mask leak and stuff. So anyhow, in my video this week, guys, I got this book, 50 Places to Dive Before You Die. Don't buy it. I don't know if I talked about that last week or not, but do not buy this book. It was a bad book. I was hoping it would give me like really good places to go scuba diving and good locations, you know, some private intel on secret spots. It doesn't. It doesn't give me any. It's a sellout. The author called dive operators around the world, asked them where to go scuba diving, and wrote little articles about each one of them, giving them all an advertisement in it. It was a very lousy book, so I'm really disappointed in it. So I've decided I'm going to write my own book of 100 places to scuba dive before you die, and it may take me the next 8 years to do that, but while I'm out scuba diving, I will try to document that as best I can. And I may do it as a book form, or I may just do it as a video form when I dive after dive after dive, and I'll edit it all together into one big thing. That could be fun. So, what hair you're shaving off? This and this. Gonna do some manscaping. There's a little TMI, huh? No, I don't manscape. But just, you know, it's gonna get too hot to have all the hair and the beard in the tropics. Up here in Alaska, with it being as cold as it is and with all the mosquitoes, it has tactical advantage, but not down in the tropics. So, yeah, did I talk about how bad that book was when we unpacked it? When I unpacked it out of the box, I know I talked about it, but now I've had a better chance of really looking at it, and it's really disappointed on it. In fact, I was so disappointed, I got back on Amazon.com and gave them a bad thing on it, and I don't ever do that. I mean, that's the first time I've done that with anything. I'm just really upset with that book. It was not at all what they promoted it to be. Any dive spots we find once Jenny is qualified, we'll send through to you for the book. There you go, Carl. Good idea. And Jenny, you should get qualified. You should learn how to scuba dive. If you're going to be on the water, you might as well be in the water. Keith said, I sold my Harleys, and at that point, I also shaved off my 14-inch goatee. Well, there you go. 14-inch long, that's no longer a goatee. That's a beard. Cut the gray out. Yeah, you can't cut the gray out. So, yeah, I found it interesting, actually. It seemed weird, but maybe it was just me. This week, a lot of the sailing channels did scuba diving videos. It was like the Vogue thing to talk about this week with everybody. I thought that was pretty weird. I didn't talk about how bad the book. Well, it's a bad book, so don't get it. Let's see. Marie says she will. Okay, if he cuts all the gray out, he won't have a goatee. He'll have a Fu Manchu. a moth-eaten looking one if I took all the gray out. Yes, Delos did step up on their camera work. You know, I thought that too, Buccaneer. Seemed like the video quality was better this past time than the last time. And for those of you guys that are not patrons on Delos, we see the video a week before you do when you're a patron. One of the few channels that actually does that, by the way. A lot of channels say they're going to do that, but they put them on Patreon and put them out public at exactly the same time. Delos doesn't do that. They're religious about putting their video up on Patreon for a week before it goes live to everybody else. So, Canary, we went through this last week. Can't figure out how to contribute. Okay, guys, to contribute, at the bottom of the chat, down there's a $sign. Underneath where you type your information on the chat, right underneath that there's a $sign. Click on the $sign and you can do the super chat. If you're on an iPhone, though, I understand that doesn't work on iPhone devices. You got to be on like a regular computer. So, kind of like the gray in my beard. I like the gray in my beard too. I earned it, but it's going to be too hot for it. I'm not ashamed to get bad reviews on Amazon. If I'm paying for a product didn't live up to my expectations, they should get a bad review. Yes, I agree, but it's just something that I normally just didn't do. So, do an ebook of your diving. Great way for income. Yeah, that's a good idea. Drake Paragon puts on Patreon 4 or 5 days ahead. Yeah, well, coffee time. Drake Paragon really hasn't been putting very much content up lately, has he? He used to, but I've really been disappointed with how little content that Drake's putting out anymore. Drake and Monique seems like ever since they got up into the Scotland, Ireland area, they really have stopped putting up content. Carl and Jenny says they put up information for their Patreons 3 days before YouTube. You know, and I guess my situation is I looked at that and I thought long and hard about it, and I've not been doing that. I've just been putting them up at both places simultaneously. It seems like that works really well for me. Declan, dude, you rock, man. Thanks, Declan. I appreciate that, buddy. That is awesome of you. Given the current world situation, are you going to identify yourself as Americans? Yes, I'm going to identify myself as an American because I am a good American. I'm a good American tourist. I am not a bad American tourist. There are some bad American tourists out there, but we have to have the good ones make themselves known so we can offset that. I love diving. It makes me feel thin. Yes, Aaron, it does, doesn't it? Because you float in the water. Whole shot. Man, that's awesome, dude. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, man. I really do. You guys rock. I really do appreciate that. You know, Declan and Whole Shot, I mean, you guys are just awesome. You really are. You can super chat on Android too. You can, huh? Okay. Well, I didn't know that. Ebook can have problems. Yeah, you can lose some money on it. We'll see. We'll see how we do that. I may just do it as a video. That seems to be my preferred format. You should ask about your plans to water ski behind the sailboat wearing just hat and see what happens. No, I am not going to water ski behind the sailboat, and I'm certainly not going to do that naked. And if I did, I wouldn't film it. So, get an underwater cam. Take the video while diving. Then you can also do a vlog. Yeah, I have underwater cameras. I have cameras that have housings for underwater. In fact, I'm getting a housing for my big camera, so I'll be doing a lot of high quality 1080p and 4K video underwater. You guys are going to find it. I'm going to be doing quite a bit of good quality underwater stuff. So, okay, I think I caught up with everybody in the chat. I hope so anyway. Guys, if I missed a question, please ask it again. I really appreciate that. Just don't worry about typing it. Just, you know, retype it again and it'll be great, because sometimes the chat moves so fast it's hard for me to keep track of stuff. So, you talk about the seasonings and process of your catch and cook. Okay, seasonings in the process. Seasonings. Well, gosh, you know, different seasonings for different stuff. I mean, you know, crab, everyone likes doing bay on crab, Old Bay. I like that. That can be good. Sometimes just plain salt and pepper. Fish, I like doing some blackening seasonings on some fishes and stuff. And processing, you know, it's hard to do something like that in the live stream here unless I actually have something as an example to show you. But a lot of it's going to be, you know, just trying to open up the fish so that we get the most flavor out of it. And we'll get to that, I guess, when I'm starting to do some videos. So you should do a packing video of electronics. I don't have much in the way of electronics to pack, so that could be a very short video, but let me think on that. Let me think on that. Excited to see you sail. Man, I am too. I am really excited to see me go sail. I cannot wait to go sailing. So, only on super chatting because I want to be a mod so I can ban Brett too. Oh, God, yes, free Brett. Free Brett. Inside joke, guys. On another, I'm a moderator on another channel, and I bounced a guy I shouldn't have accidentally, and I've been catching flack for it ever since. So, thank you for the scuba packing video. I was wondering about the prescription dive mask, and now I know where to order my size skins. Yeah, Aaron. And something I didn't clarify very well in that video is those prescription bifocals. They're just a piece of plastic that you buy it. It comes in a little box, and I actually stick it into the lens myself. You don't have to order them that way. You just buy the little magnification bifocals and stick them inside your lenses yourself, and they work very well. Very, very well. I'm real pleased with how well mine do. So, let's see. As someone close to the South Florida marine industry, everyone I spoke with said don't flag as a U.S. yacht of traveling around the world. Yeah, I'm going to flag as a U.S. yacht because I'm U.S. So, and you talk about boat surveys, cost, what's all involved, and what to expect from a survey. Wow, Weigold, big subject. Let me do a video about that, although I'm probably not a good person to do a video about that because the last time I hired a surveyor was a boat that I bought up here in Alaska, and the guy did a really lousy job for $750. And this boat that I'm buying now, I'm not getting surveyed. But let me think about doing like an entire video on that. That's way too much to do during a live stream. Do you video of your camera equipment packing? Okay, I can do that. Yeah. Is that what you meant by electronics? I guess the cameras and stuff. Yeah, I can show you some of that. Although some of the cameras I have on order and aren't here yet, and may not be here until I get on board the boat. So that might be difficult for me to do, but I'll try there. Hey, Johanna, welcome. Glad you're here. Those of you that don't know, Johanna Wilson's my first wife, my first ex-wife. With the follow the boat with their does living on a boat get old video. You know, I didn't see that, Second Chance Sailing. And the reason I didn't see that is because some channels are kind of getting to where they're, you know, they're trying to go this formula with the thumbnail photo, and they're putting all this drama and stuff, added drama into the thumbnails, and it just turns me off. So when I saw their thumbnail for that video, I just didn't bother going to it. Getting, you know, living on a boat gets old. Sure, it does. Everything gets old at some point or another. It all depends on attitude. So, hey, Austin, glad you made it. Farts and glory. Grandpa's a fishing newbie. He will learn. Yeah, I'll learn about fishing. Yep, that's for sure. Really liked the video about the scuba gear the other day. You're extremely inspiring. Well, thank you, Austin. I appreciate that. Anything will be fine, Cap. All right, Darren, that's fun. There's no reason to survey the rough seas. It was surveyed last year. Yes, and Bob gave me a copy of the survey from last year, so that made it a lot easier for me. So, hi, Grandpa. Hey, Kim, Kelly, how you doing? And Megan's in Kansas City. Oh, okay. Bowen got baptized. Awesome. Great, guys. I'm glad to hear that. Hey, Carl and Jenny, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate that. 8 pounds. That's awesome, man. You guys rock. So I guess Megan is listening then. So Megan, if you're out there, I'm real excited about the idea of you joining me for bringing the boat from Puerto Rico to Florida. I really hope we can work that out. That would really be awesome. I would love to have you on board for that. We could make a lot of great content doing that for both mine, and you can start your own channel. Hey, for those of you guys on here, for my fans on the live chat, I've been trying to talk Megan into starting her own channel on YouTube and starting her own Patreon page. What say you? Put it in the comments down below. Do you think Megan from the Sailing Dunos should start her own sailing channel and start creating her own content? I'd really be interested to hear what you guys have to say about that. I know my opinion. What's your guys' opinion? Small number of cruisers utilize cheap CCTV cameras on their boats. It seems like a great idea to have camera up the mast. Yes, Dave, I'll probably be running a lot of GoPros up and around, only because I want to maintain good video quality, and GoPro shooting 1080. So they said it didn't get old if you have things to do. Well, you always have things to do, but the same thing could be true about sitting at home in your living room. So I guess it all depends. So how can we talk Megan into joining you? Christy, get on the chat here and tell Megan if she's listening. Tell Megan to join me. Tell her what you think. I think she needs to start her own channel, and I've offered to help her get that started and get going with it. I can see the merits of having cameras up the mast. Yeah, absolutely. How much longer do you think the YouTube sailing channel craze will keep going? Oh, gosh. It'll never end. It'll never end. I've been following sailing channels for over 2 decades now. Back in the days when we only had blogs to read, and we had to go read everyone's blog, and now we have vlogs, video logs, and videos and stuff. It'll never end. It's going to continue to grow at infinitum. Yes, Megan should start her own channel. Thank you, S. Viacula. No brainer, Megan, of course. Yep, you were missed, Megan. Yes, there you go. See? There you go, Megan. What I've been trying to tell you. People want to see you do a channel and get out there. It will be very successful. Is there room for much more people, including people willing to be patrons? Oh my gosh, yeah, talk about that. Read about Patreon and what's going on with them. They're growing exponentially, and it's not just selling videos. It's a whole bunch of different creators generating art and contributing it. So, yes, it's growing, and I expect it's going to continue growing. Being a patron for somebody is really old school, guys. I mean, we're talking Michelangelo had patrons. Artists have patrons. It's just the way it's always been done. So, yes, Megan, more content from you. As long as there's an ocean and there's people that want to go sailing, it will never end. And, you know, as long as they're doing Sailing Week and everyone's scared to death about getting in the water because of sharks and they refuse to go sailing like most of your wives may be talking about, guys like me who go scuba diving with the sharks, you can live vicariously through me. And so there's a lot of people that like watching these sailing channels, not because they're ever going to do it, because they like seeing those people that are willing to do that. So I think to some degree. I think it'd be a really nice thing for you to have a companion, Gramps, especially being out on the water alone. I agree, Darren Dar, and I am looking for a Mrs. Grandpa to go with me. I'm looking for my future ex-wife, and I have no problem, you know. But you know, I'm looking for people to be out on the boat with me. That doesn't mean they have to be some sort of romantic entanglement. I'm not really looking for that. Having just come through a bad marriage for the last 20 years, I'm really not looking for that right now. But yes, I will be in the future at some point. So I do plan on having quite a lot of visitors out on the boat with me, however. So don't get. I'm not going to be alone out there. Barely watch TV anymore. Yeah, a lot of people barely watch TV anymore. Oh, the chat's going so fast now. Have you signed up the Chasing Coral program? Yes, awesome documentary. Loved it. Yes, she knows the boat. Yes, she does. Future ex-wife. If you look closely at Rick Moore's videos, you'll see he has CCTV cameras mounted all over the place. Yeah, and not necessarily CCTV cameras, but he actually sticks GoPros everywhere, and that's fine. That's the camera he's actually using for that. So, more scared of sharks, worried about ticks and mosquitoes. No ticks and mosquitoes out in the ocean. Well, mosquitoes, but no ticks out in the ocean. Cart from counting fish. What other stuff are you going to be doing? Really interested that you're not going to be same as everyone else. Yeah, Phil, a lot of citizen science project, collecting data, water column clarity, pH, salinity, doing a lot of water testing kind of stuff, shark counts, whale counts, turtle counts, dolphin counts. I mean, it seems like every species has got some group or organization out there trying to do some good for it, which is just freaking awesome. Monitoring, and if I see somebody out there poaching or turning up, doing stuff they shouldn't be, I'm going to report that to the necessary people, because I'm a big advocate for good conservation management and following that. So that kind of stuff. And also highlighting some of these things like reef.org. They're going to be doing a sale in December in the BVI, and I may film along and show how they're training people to do this and what they're accomplishing and what good they're doing, and try to show that kind of stuff. What about starfish? Are you concerned for those? Darren, everything in the ocean at this point has to have some concern given to it. So right down to the lowliest shrimp. No, you have a fish finder, right? Yes, there's a fish finder on the boat, and I am a fish finder. Yeah, I agree. Megan should help me move the boat to Florida, best ever I had, and then decide what she wants to do. But I think it would be a good experience for her. You can starfish. No, what can starfish do? Starfish are, the little look like stars, little fish, not jellyfish, starfish. And they do quite a bit. Actually, a lot of the coral reefs in some areas are being destroyed by a type of starfish known as a crown of thorns. And I'll get into that in a video once I can videotape a crown of thorns. So Megan is a loyal to the rough seas, diehard monohull lover. Yes, she is. Yeah, Megan's channel would blow up and get pretty damn big in a very short period of time. Keith, I agree with you. It would blow up. The cameras aren't for getting footage. They're for recording if anyone boards the boat to steal stuff. Okay, John, talking about that, that's real easy, and I'll show you how I'm handling that. I don't know if you can see up on the shelf right up here behind me, but I'm going to have some trail cams like I use for hunting here in Alaska. I'm going to set some trail cams out on the boat. They're motion activated so that when I am off the boat, I'll turn them on. Anybody steps on and off the boat, they shoot video. High def, 1080p video and audio. They record audio as well. So anybody steps on my boat, they're going to know that they're having video surveillance on them at all times. So that hopefully will work and catch them. So can't wait to get going. Yeah, I can't wait to get going, man. I'm just like blown. Well, I thought starfish were harmless. No, starfish are not harmless. Starfish can do a lot of damage. Yeah, look up crown of thorns. They're a type of starfish. They're very prickly, but what happens is they crawl out over an area of coral reef and actually will eat it and suffocate it and kill the coral. So they can be devastating like anything else. When there's too many of them to support the habitat, they'll destroy the habitat. No different than overgrazing, cattle in a pasture. It's the same kind of concept. So how is it I can't ban posters yet? Hashtag disappointed. How is it? Oh, Declan, you're not a moderator? Is that what you're saying? Will you keep a gun on the boat? No, Christy, I will not keep a gun on my boat. I will have my bow and arrow, and I am a very good shot with my bow and arrow. I will have spear guns. I'll have other defensive weapons, but not a firearm. It's just too much of a hassle checking in and out of countries with them. So turn them on. Why would Megan separate from Sailing Doodles? Amanda is great, but the three together are awesome. I've not asked Megan to separate from Sailing Doodles. I think Sailing Doodles, the relationship she and Bob have is sort of a winning thing to build that up. But there's no reason why she's not also generating content while out sailing. giving her perspective. And you know, the two channels then, Bob and her channel, could work together. So that's what I'm suggesting. There's a lot about the rough seas Megan could help you learn during the trip back to Florida that would make transition on a boat a lot easier. Yeah, Keith, that is definitely one of my motivations for inviting her to help me with that, because she would understand some of the systems certainly better than I would, and so I'm hoping that'll happen. Wrist rockets are great. Okay, what's a wrist rocket? I don't know what a wrist rocket is, Tim. The CCT cameras are for giving you an overhead view of the shallows. No, now there's an idea. Yeah, Dave, I hadn't thought of that. Wouldn't be a bad idea to have a forward-looking. Actually, I've thought about, you know, if I had the funds to put a FLIR camera up on the mast aiming forward. FLIR being forward-looking infrared, so it basically gives you night vision. So I want to go sailing. Oh, me too, Jim. I'm really done with Alaska, guys, and being a dirt dweller. I really want to get going. Ah, slingshot. Okay, wrist rocket. I get it. I get it. Used to put up ham radio antennas. Huh. You would use a slingshot to install a ham radio antenna. That I'd like to see. Heading to Marathon 2. Start to shake down. Finally, I can't wait to go. Yeah, Marathon's a great spot. Nice harbor there. Some good people. And some bad people. You know, it's like anywhere else. So, sure to eat. Yep, I'll be eating lots of lionfish. Run labels for us to put on our own bottles. Wrist rocket is a slingshot that wraps around your wrist very accurately and deadly. Okay, I'll have to look at those. What are your thoughts on Amanda from Sailing Doodles? I wish she was more into learning to sail. Yeah, Christy, I don't, you know, the jury's still out on Amanda at Sailing Doodles. She seems like a really nice girl. I don't know her well enough to say one way or the other. I don't know. I don't know enough about Amanda to really make any kind of comment. She seemed like enough girl and was at the right place at the right time. Bob seems to enjoy having her on board, and so you know, I wish them all the best. So I don't know what else I could say. She seems like a real nice person. So a knuckle taser is good to have too. Will you be copper coating the bottom? Stuart, I don't know yet. I have to do some more research on some of the latest paints. There's a lot of new technology coming out with undercoating paint, and so I want to look at those because I really don't want to pollute the water any more than I absolutely have to with an undercoating. FLIR is nice, but the resolution is low. Well, yes, but some of the new FLIRs are just as the resolution on them can be just as nice as the other cameras we have today. So they're making a lot of improvements in that technology. So did you do your research and decide on a barbecue? No, whole shot. I have not decided on a barbecue yet. Yes, and Megan could provide herself a voice that a lot of people would love to hear. Yeah, I would think so. Amanda rocks. Okay, yeah, I like Amanda. Many carry bear spray for security. Yeah, bear spray, yeah, and they're very, very common up here in Alaska. You cannot fly on an airplane with them, however, but I can leave them in my truck, and when I bring the boat up, I can move them over. And we do carry bear spray. Actually, guys, I can tell you up here in Alaska, I'd much rather carry pepper spray when I'm out walking in grizzly bear country than a gun. Of course, I actually carry both up here in Alaska, but that's just me. If anybody went back and looked at some of my old videos, you'll see some videos of some grizzly bears that I filmed on the back corner of my property. A big sow and 2 cubs last spring. She was probably 700 pounds. The cubs were probably 500 pounds each. And that camera was 2,200 feet or so from my cabin. So it gives you cause to pause when you have that situation happening in your neighborhood. What about gray water and backwater out when you're out to sea? Gray water and black water go overboard when you're out to sea. You only have to worry about them when you're in a harbor. For some reason, I can't watch this live feed from my Roku. Any suggestions? I have no idea. I do not know why you can't watch this on Roku. I have no idea. I'm a little upset you're not in your Speedo and tank top. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Hey, but I understand Carl and Jenny. Carl was talking about wearing a thong, so you guys might want to check that out. What we don't see is the financial decisions people make behind the scenes on YouTube. YouTube money doesn't pay for an endless trip. KC1 Hawks, no, YouTube doesn't. But YouTube, in conjunction with Patreon, in conjunction with earnings on the live chat, in conjunction with selling merchandise, you can put together, you know, a multifaceted thing that could possibly. There are some channels out there, however, that are making bank. Selling La Vagabond and SV Delos, those guys are making huge amounts of money. They'll be able to sell forever on the amount of money they're making right now. So I don't necessarily agree with that, but the majority are not making enough to make it worthwhile. Can't wait to see a chat when you shave. Next chat. I'll be bald next chat, guys. What the heck is a Roku? Roku is a device for watching the internet somehow on a TV. Jenny says, I don't think so somehow. Oh, bear spray off by accident and it cleared the whole campsite out. Yeah, that bear spray, caspium, is nasty stuff. You definitely don't want to get it on you or breathe any of it. So I can't wear my thongs. I got a buddy that makes over $27,000 a month from YouTube alone. Yeah, there's some guys that make huge amounts of money from YouTube. Absolutely. Just from the AdSense revenue, from having a lot of viewers. So Patreon better than YouTube for you. Whole shot, it's not one better or the other. It's the two of them work hand in hand. It's so you really can't have that position. I'll tell you what, if you want, private message me and I'll be happy to go into detail with you about how it works. So let's see. Cheshire, I figured that would be 1, 2, or 3. Marie says, yeah, fresh start, let it go, we'll grow back. Yeah, it'll always grow back. It'll always grow back. When I was down in 2015, I had shaved everything. All this has grown in the last 2 years. So I suppose, though, if we get enough viewers, Carl could put on a thong for a laugh, maybe a special for patrons only. There you go. Hey, Carl and Jenny, you guys could do that as a fundraiser, you know, have a special thing for people to contribute to. So Marie Morrissey had something retracted. Well, Marie must have retracted that. Roku is an Android box made usually for streaming video. Yes, 59-year-old man that will never grow up. That's me, Grizz. That's me, 59-year-old man. And you know what? I'm 59 years old, and I still don't know what I'm going to do when I grow up. So how's that for you? Oh, you know, guys, I got to tell you, I'm really enjoying doing the stream today. I was not in a good place at the beginning of the stream today. I really wasn't. Just frustrated with the delays going on here in Alaska. So I really appreciate you guys interacting with me. It's been awesome. YouTube don't pay you from the number of subscribers. They have to pay for the ads. Yeah, YouTube, you get paid by how many people watch the ads on your channel. That's how that's all that works. So, okay. But I thought you accidentally shaved part of your beard a month ago. I did. Yeah, that's true. About a month or so ago, I had no beard. So the beard is all within like the last month or two. But I mean, the hair is been growing that back out since 2015. So how about a fundraiser for Grandpa's Beer Fund? Hey, there you go. Hey, that's what I should do that. Bob did that on Selling Doodles. He had people donate to make him shave. So that's an idea. Hey, George, thank you. I'm sorry, Gregor. Gregor, thank you, man. I really appreciate that, man. Feed the bears garlic. That's really awesome of you, dude. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Oh, Christy, I am sure I will do fine selling my journey. I am sure of it. I have no doubt. You know, I'm meeting so many wonderful people you know, this being on YouTube and dealing with Patreon and stuff, it's been a great experience for me. I'm really impressed with it and jazzed about how well this is go. So have to ask, how did you all get together to do the Jenny and Carl intro? Okay, Carl and Jenny are another channel, just to clarify. I know my name's Carl as well, but that's a whole nother channel. Carl and Jenny Selling Adventure is some friends of mine from England who have their own channel. So, Grandpa, I don't want to grow up. I'm 59-year-old. Yeah, I agree, Grizz. Want to see how much top 10 selling channels make? Take a look at Slow Boat Sailing and Second Chance top 10 videos. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are talking about that. Chin Up got your back. Thanks, Buccaneer. Appreciate it, buddy. Do you still get paid from YouTube if the viewers skip the ads? Yes, Christy. It's best if you watch the whole ad, but it's not absolutely necessary. If you just watch the ad to the point where you skip the ad, then that's still long enough that they get paid. So, oh gosh, guys, I'm so way behind in the chat here. Didn't walk away from the computer, didn't see it all. Yep. Is Lily going to be cool with the dinghy? I got to go potty and get groceries. Yeah, she'll figure it out. Like anything else, it's just going to take some experience for her. But yeah, she'll figure it out, the dinghy and stuff. So it's time channels like Grand has made the same money and better than most of the top 10. Yeah, I think so. Meant to ask you, is Bob going to let his dinghy go with the boat? Yeah, the dinghy and the outboard for the dinghy go with the boat. He left those on the rough seas for me. So Declan's asking about the jigging video clips you are featured in. Jigging video clips. I didn't know I was in a jigging video clip. Okay, I thought the question was about ad blocking on YouTube. Ad blocking is a completely different thing. That's where you actually pay YouTube to not show you any ads, and then we actually do get paid from those people as well. They have just a different formula for it. But yeah, that's a separate accounting thing that they do. And yes, even if somebody gets on there and watches the video long enough to give me a thumbs down, we still get paid for that. I bet Looking Pete makes big pounds. Not sure what that was about. Can't wait to watch Lily adjust, so please be sure to give us lots of... Oh, there'll be tons of videos for her. In fact, she and I were out yesterday shooting some video. Not yesterday, before yesterday. Shooting some video with the dog cam. I have a harness. This is it right here. I have a harness that goes on her back. Let me bring up my camera so I can see what I'm filming. Yeah. This goes on the dog, this goes on her back, and this goes on her belly. And it enables me to put two cameras, one above her head and one on her chest, while she's out running around. And so I shot some footage with that day before yesterday, and that's in editing, so some of that's going to come out pretty soon as well. But I'll be doing a lot of that, especially while she's swimming, because the GoPros can mount to that, and they'll be waterproof. So it should be fun to see her swimming and stuff. But as far as Bob's dinghy is concerned, I don't know how well that's going to work. It looked like it was breaking down pretty bad in the sunlight already, because it's vinyl and not PVC. I'm sorry, it's PVC and not the other material that lasts longer than PVC. I can't remember the top of my head. So I probably will be upgrading that pretty quickly anyway, especially since I need one big enough for a big old fat guy like me. So, and guys, if I missed your questions, please ask it again. I'm trying to get them as best I can, but Declan, get in touch via Facebook and we can get you included. Good deal. Keith, she has one pretty spiffy. Okay, Desiree, thank you. I guess Grandpa forgot to send them the video. I guess Grandpa forgot to send them the video. Who did I forget to send the video to? I sent Jenny and Carl a video. They got a video of me doing this for their channel. That was fun. Just got a return email from the guy at Large Catamarans. We're thinking of chartering one out. Not sure yet. Buccaneer, I'll warn you, if you're going to go charter a big catamaran to use that to convince your wife to go sailing, it may convince her to go sailing, but it may also, that's what my ex-wife did. She then insisted that we had to have a big catamaran, which of course I could never afford. So get her out on a real nice monohull and let her see what real sailing is like. Rita the Dinghy. Well, that's a good idea for a name, Marie. Rita the Dinghy. I think that's what they were calling it, wasn't it? I don't know. Oh, you don't want me and old ugly mug on it. Okay. Great questions, Keith. Okay, thank you, Cheshire. What was Keith's question? I missed Keith's question, or maybe I did. I don't know. No problem at 58 and 18 stone in a dinghy. Chartered out for 5 years. What food are you taking with you? You will need sides to go with what you catch and cook. Yes, and whole shot, it's probably all going to be canned. I'm going to try to buy fresh as I can, where I can, you know. In fact, I'd like to do some videos when I get to different locations. One thing I noticed none of the cruisers do often enough in my book is to go in and show the grocery areas and where you buy your groceries. I know in the Mediterranean, they have well, in the Arab nations, they call them souks or bazaars or different places to go and buy the groceries, open air markets and stuff. I'd like to show those, but then I'd also like to go out to the farmers that are growing it and show where they're growing it and how they're growing it. Kind of along that line of know your farmer mentality for all of the farm market, foodie people out there that are into that kind of stuff, which I am actually. So how many other sailboats have I owned? I've owned 2 other sailboats, a 30 and a 31. This 37 will be the largest sailboat I've owned. You forgot you sent it to them after I just asked you how you were in their intro. Okay, I'm not sure. Hypalon. Yes, Mike. Thank you. That's right. Hypalon. I asked, did you buy the dog a life vest already? But Cheshire answered, yes. She has her life vest. And it is right behind me here. That's her life vest. This is what Miss Lily wears when we're on deck. It has a nice handle for grabbing her. It's got a comfortable chest strap, and this goes under her belly. And if she falls in the water, I can grab this and hopefully yank her back up on deck, but it'll keep her floating. But keep in mind, guys, she's a Labrador Retriever. So she's a swimming dog anyway. So you go, okay, Bud, you're in Alaska. Go fishing and have your pals can jar that stuff for you. Yeah, Gregor, I live on Montana Creek, north of end of the Matsu Valley here in Alaska. And literally, Montana Creek is right over there. I could pretty much throw a rock from it from my property. However, because of the tens of thousands, the tons of silver salmon and king salmon caught out in the saltwater, out in the ocean, by the time they come up here, the numbers are so dramatically reduced that they actually prohibit us from catching fish in our backyards. I am over Alaska. I am livid with the fact that the guys out in the ocean can net them out with trawl nets and take tons of fish. But when they come up here to those of us that bought property on a salmon stream so we could have access to our own salmon, we're told we're not allowed to catch them. If I drive the 3 miles down Montana Creek Road to where I cross over the Parks Highway, from there to the Susitna River, there you're allowed to keep them. But once you get a quarter mile this side of the Parks Highway bridge going over Montana Creek Road, which is up where I live, we're not allowed to keep them anymore. So I'm over it. I've caught a lot of salmon up here in Alaska, but I'm really PO'd with the state of Alaska in regards to that right now. So I'm not too worried about bringing any salmon with me. Plus, I'm going to have so much fresh fish where I'm going to be going. Why have canned fish when I can have fresh fish? The sides to go with the fresh fish is what I was referring to, that I'll probably be buying a lot of canned stuff for, not the protein. Will you provision at Costco in Puerto Rico? Yeah, Christy, I'm going to do a small provisioning there, but probably wait till I get back to Florida to do a big provisioning. Yeah, Marie, I agree. People like to know where their food comes from. They should. You should. For your own health and safety, you should. Let your food be your medicine and your medicine be your food, people. That sucks. Didn't think the government was that invasive. Oh, yeah. And not just here. It's not just here in Alaska. There's a lot of abuses going on in the fisheries in the world. You know, the Fish Wildlife Parks is funded by the sale of hunting and fishing equipment. And so therefore their main goal is to provide a sustainable fishery for people to go out and continue to harvest animals. And what ends up happening is they're generating so much money from the sale of the commercial licensing that those of us that do the, you know, I go out and catch 1 or 2 fish a year and I'm happy. But I don't represent a big amount of money to them like the commercial fisheries do. And, you know, the commercial fisheries, they can hire people to go and wine and dine and talk them into all kinds of stuff. So they get the legislation and they get the laws that way. Something that we have to work on internationally, not just here. So have to ask how the deal is going. Declan, as far as I know, the deal is going fine. Fine. We're supposed to have the appraisal done on the 9th. Today's the 6th. So I got 3 days. And the appraiser has not contacted me yet. Now, I did just run the numbers yesterday and look at all the most recent comparables. And I'm very comfortable. There's like 5 or 6 properties that sold recently for anywhere from $25,000 to $50,000 more than what I'm asking for my property. And they're all within, you know, in the neighborhood, similar size properties, similar situations. You know, they're on the grid. They have on the road system, have power, have internet, have good usable ground. We're not talking about floodplains. We're not talking about, you know, swamp areas, developable ground. So good comparables to my property. All of those are in that $300,000, $325,000 range, and I'm selling for $279,000. So I'm comfortable. It's just I haven't heard from the appraiser yet, and I should have heard from him by now. I've started looking into or talking to companies about making up some T-shirts. No, I have not started talking to anybody about T-shirts. I think I would need a design first. I shouldn't say that. I have done some research. I am aware that some of them are out there, and it would be easy for me to get started with them. So I just haven't committed anybody yet. Saw something about Fukushima. You know, I'm not really worried about Fukushima. I don't plan on fishing around Japan. So, and like everything else in life, it's all solution by dilution. So Fukushima is just a little tiny pinprick in the ocean compared to all the rest of the stuff that's poisoning it. So where is the sailboats? The sailboat is in Puerto Rico. It's in San Juan at a marina. So I love these fish smoke cooked even after freezing them. Yeah, I like smoking fish, but I like fresh fish better than smoked fish. So is Lily going to be cool with chilling on the rough seas while you are out and about? The doodles did okay. Yeah, she'll be fine. She'll be absolutely fine on the boat. There are times when I leave her in the cabin. Like if I go take a shower or run to the store or something, sometimes I'll leave her here in the cabin. Especially on rainy days because I don't want her tracking the mud into my truck. And we have a lot of rainy days up here. So yeah, she's okay with that. She likes her crate. I mean, guys, she's in her crate right now. She's perfectly happy and perfectly quiet. She's safe in her crate. And she knows she's safe in her crate. So she doesn't get too worried about it. So can you call him? Can I call who? I don't know who I'm calling. And who is Stinger and why did Stinger get 2 strikes? What is the sailboat? Okay, is that what you're referring to? So clickbait. I don't know why you would say that's clickbait, Stinger. This is a sailing channel. I'm preparing to go sailing. I'm not on the boat just yet, but I will be here in about 30 days. So some of us loyal peeps want that t-shirt. Okay, well, I will work on that, guys. I'll work on that this week. I'll try. I need a design. I need someone to design something, but I'll figure something out. We'll get our first t-shirt done. So what do I have to do to get banned from the live stream? Just asking. Use of profanity, assaulting another person on the live stream. Those usually work. Rhonda's very protective, old grandpa. So if she suspects that you're being bad, then she'll bounce you. She's tough. She wields that wrench like Thor's hammer. So assessor. Marie, what do you mean by assessor? Appraisal. Our appraiser is what we're working on up here. All right, troll, shoe, fly, shoe, clickbait. Okay. If you do, please don't make your shirts cost. No, actually, the company I was looking at, I think they sell for $20. The finished shirts sell for $20, and they do one-off orders. So I just got to give them a basic plan. Actually, they have a thing on their channel where I can get on there and kind of design something and put, so I'll do some kind of like Grandpa's Farm with a design or something on it, and then they'll do those as one-offs. And as soon as that's done, I'll let you guys know and give you the link to that. So, can you call the appraiser? Carolyn, I cannot call the appraiser because I don't know the appraiser's name yet. That's why I'm waiting for him to call me. What they do up here in Alaska, they do this everywhere. They have the banks use a lottery system. They put in their order into the lottery system. The lottery system then goes down and picks the appraiser. This way, it's an arm's length transaction, and nobody can complain that the bank is in cahoots with them or whatever. And then until that appraiser calls me, nobody knows who that appraiser is except for that system, and they won't tell you. So we'll still see. I should. Hey, Carolyn, I'm going to hear from the appraiser in the next 3 days because the appraisal's got to be done by the 9th. So, and the appraiser did tell the bank it would be done by the 9th, and the bank's still not telling me who he is. So, Grandpa, work on a boat with a Holstein on the foredeck for your t-shirt art. A Holstein on the foredeck. All right, let me work on that. Let me think on that. I prefer jerseys. Okay, here we go. Us locals want that t-shirt. Okay, I will figure out a t-shirt, guys. Okay, I have severe brain damage. Yes, Chris, we know that. Yeah, Grizz used to get beat up really bad. It took him a while to figure out that he had to behave on YouTube channels. And he used to get, it was just like, Grizz would log onto a YouTube channel, boom, he'd get banned just that quick. And it took a while before people started getting to know him a little bit and realize that he's okay. He's a good guy. So, that's a big thumbs up on the price. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, on the shirt price that we're referring to. Yeah, I think they sell for like $20 or something, which is still kind of highway robbery, I can go to Walmart and buy all the t-shirts I want for like $5 a piece. I don't see why they should cost 20, but they do. So it's just what the company does. So it's got to have a chicken. Okay. Grandpa, honey, can grab a beer, please. I hate drinking alone. Okay. I will do that. Just because you asked, Gregor. And for those of you that are new here and don't know, I had to move you so I could reach the refrigerator. And so now it's Heineken time. Because it's 5 o'clock someplace. Not here in Alaska, but it's definitely 5 o'clock someplace. So, cheers. I'm gonna give a bone. I'm gonna give the dog a bone. There you go. I'll make her happy. Austin, I'm excited, and I hope you get shirts. I'll buy a few. Okay, well, we will get some shirts done. And a pig. So a chicken, a pig, and a cow. There won't be any room left on the boat for me. Start thinking about a barbecue. Yes, I need to start thinking about a barbecue. Hey, it'd be great to have a barbecue. That way I've got someplace to cook the pig and the cow and the chicken. So, that'd be awesome. I'm going to have a beer as well here in the UK. Well, Carl and Jenny, you guys should be having a beer at 116. Absolutely. I don't mind paying 20 bucks for a shirt. She means a chicken on your t-shirt because, yes, I know that, Keith. I figured, yes, I realized that. Does the Rough Seas have a whisker pole? I understand it does, Austin. Yes, I saw in the video that it did have a whisker pole. If not, I would definitely be buying one for it because to me that's a necessary part of the kit. The sail from Puerto Rico back to Florida is a downwind run. I mean, it's straight downwind run. So I definitely plan on going wing on wing and just, you know, cruising right on up to Florida. So 10 bucks with delivery, I'd buy one, but I live in Ireland. Yeah, Declan, I don't think, I'm pretty sure the people I'm talking to are the same people that do the t-shirts for Delos. So I'm pretty sure they'll ship anywhere, and it's a one-off thing. It's like I get it set up on their website. I give you a link to their website. You go to their website, you order it there, and then they ship it to you wherever you are. And I'm pretty sure they do that internationally. So they may charge a little bit more for international delivery. I don't know the details of that, but I will figure it out and have an answer for you guys by the next live stream. So just cracked a cold one. Sorry I'm late. Hey, no problem, guys. Been drinking a beer for hours now. Tomorrow's going to be rough. Oh, cool. Let us know the last minute things you need. Some of us will help. I've been buying a lot of last minute things actually. Like, you know, batteries for the dive computer and some cruising guides. I still have to buy the chart guides for the Bahamas, the chart books for the Bahamas. Haven't bought those yet. And, but you know, I mean, really it's just minimal stuff right now. So there's really not a whole lot of big stuff in there. So a little old stoop man in a straw hat with a corncob pipe leading a cow, a pig, and a chicken down a dock to the boat. Okay, that sounds interesting. I don't draw for damn, guys. I'm going to have to figure all that out. I see people thinking on the animals on the t-shirt. It gives continuity to the idea of Grandpa's Farm Goes Sailing. Well, it is. And, you know, I've raised chickens, pigs, ducks, geese, turkeys, cows, horses, donkeys. I mean, there isn't a farm animal that I haven't raised at one point or another. So it should be funny. Hey, Grandpa, getting ready to warm my... Oh, man, am I getting ready to warm my bones. Yep, feet in the water, ass in the sand, cold beer in my hand. I'm really looking forward to that. So, bank holiday over. Here opens another beer. There you go, Declan. Check on polars. Wing and wing may seem right, but usually gibing off gets you... Yeah, obviously, LaFawn, I'm going to have to read the weather and just see where it's at and where I'm at. Probably will be doing some gibing back and forth, but it's going to be downwind, so it's going to be whatever it's going to be. You know, obviously, I will adjust for whatever the wind directions actually become. Just because, you know, it's a straight east to west wind, I am going to be doing some northing as I'm heading east to west. So I may be going on attack and going that way. I don't know. I won't know until I get there and get in the wind and see what it's doing. So, t-shirt has to be a papa holding lily. Oh, that would be another idea for a t-shirt. Lots of beans to fill up the sails. There you go. Ducks on a boat makes perfect sense. Yeah, they lay great eggs and they swim. There's actually a guy out sailing right now that has a chicken on his sailboat. And I thought if I was going to have poultry on the sailboat, it would definitely have to be ducks. Because ducks can lay equally as well as chickens can, and ducks can swim. So, watch your drone footage this week. Do you Plans to eat those pigs before you leave. My pigs are gone, Christy. If you see pigs in the drone, they're gone. All of my livestock is gone at this point. I have nothing left here. I've gotten rid of all the livestock and 98% of all my personal property at this point. So if you're watching drones of pigs, that's old footage. Very old footage. Did you organize a crew yet, Grandpa? David, yes. I'm still waiting for to know my finished schedule. And that's why really Megan can't commit one way or the other. I don't know exactly what my schedule is going to be or what days I'm going to be sailing back from Puerto Rico to Florida. I don't know the exact dates on that yet. It's going to depend on when we actually close here and how quickly I can get there. Probably somewhere around the end of September, early October. Maybe mid-September if things work out really awesome. So I don't have a definite date yet. Once we have that, then we'll be able to finalize our crew arrangements and stuff. In the donation tab below, is there any way to pay using PayPal with having to enter my credit card info? Keith, I don't have that set up right now. I have a son who's in the process of building a website for me, and when he does that, we'll have that capability. We don't have it at this point just yet, but we are working on that. So, T-shirt needs posts and barbed wire around the deck and animals on deck with Lily watching them. Man, you guys just have all kinds of good ideas. Yeah, if you click on the button, it does not have a PayPal option. You just use your credit card, I believe. It's just the way that YouTube has it set up. What are your sailing plans after you come back to Florida? Okay, when I get back to Florida, I'm going to reprovision the boat. Probably be making some modifications like installing a hot water heater, a water maker, possibly a washer dryer, and then I'm going to be spending this coming winter in the Bahamas and the Northern Caribbean. I was going to do just the Bahamas, but now it looks like I have to be down the BVI around Christmas time for a citizen science project I want to film. And then the following spring, I plan on coming up the East Coast and then heading over to the Mediterranean next summer. So that's my one-year plan for right now. Going to go into the ham radio stuff. I don't know at this point, Tracy. I don't know if I'm going to be doing any ham radio stuff or not. I'll send one for you. For Keith. Thanks, Gregor. I appreciate that, buddy. I really do. For Keith. All right. Thanks, Keith. Lily needs to be in the picture. Okay. We will try to do that. You guys are awesome, man. You really are. You guys are really awesome. Wow. My video feed on my live stream is just like way behind. There, I just caught it up. It kept, what do you call it? Pausing. And so now it's kind of caught up. So how would you keep the duck from flying away? You clip one wing. It's real easy. You simply take the feathers and shorten the feathers on one wing. I've seen so many people screw this up when they hear that the best way to stop them from flying is to clip the wings, because what they'll do is they'll clip both wings. If you clip both wings, it doesn't work. They just have to work harder to fly. If you clip just one wing, when they go to take off, they get lift from one side, not the other, and they fall on their sides and crash. So you just got to cut one wing. And not the wing itself, just the feathers. It's just paper until it finds a reason. There you go. Well, and this is a good reason, so thank you. I appreciate it. The only thing this clown sells is his YouTube channel in his shitty trailer. Okay. Hold my beer and watch. We'll see how that goes. Actually, if you go back, you can look at some of my old sailing videos from last summer, if you really want to see sailing videos, but that's okay. Oh no, you are so brilliant, ain't you? That's okay, guys. That's okay. Keith, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it, man. That's awesome. $5. Awesome, dude. I really appreciate it. Very good on you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. Uh-oh. Rhonda got oh no. I'm thinking me and your mod could be a good together, just saying hi. There you go, Rhonda. Don't you have to do the ham radio thing as you travel? No, you don't have to do the ham radio thing as you travel. It is good to do. There's some advantages to it. But with satellite communications being what they are today, it's really replaced that. It's a lot easier just to get satellite communications now. So technology moves on and things change. Are you concerned sailing Puerto Rico to Florida in September, October? Yes, I am. Yeah, obviously I have to watch the weather because it will be hurricane season. 1 does 1, 2, 3. Woolly bully. Okay, Gregor, I'm not sure what that is. So I would do more, sir, but Amazon has owned my account for the last 4 months. Hey, Keith, no problem, dude. Seriously, man, I appreciate the money. That's fine. Don't feel like you're not doing enough, man. That's awesome. That's really super awesome. I appreciate it. Somebody asked earlier what it looked to get banned. So there you go. That's what it looks like to get banned. Actually, she wasn't banned. He was put in timeout, which means you got to wait 5 minutes before he can post again. And then when he gets on there and posts again and does something nasty, then Rhonda will really whack him because that's just what Rhonda does. So it's an old song. Okay. I didn't get it, but okay. Must say Google Chrome has been perfect for watching your stream tonight. Firefox buffered and Explorer crashed. Interesting. You know, I hadn't thought about trying to use different browsers. That's interesting, Second Chance. I use, what am I using? I'm using Firefox, and my reception of my broadcast coming back to me is always buffering. So, but nobody else is complaining about buffering. So I think it's just on my reception and not on my transmission end. I heard Lazy Gecko sup for sale. Oh, is it? Not surprising. They got their panties in a twist on YouTube for some reason. I don't know why. And whatever. It's all good. Custom building an RV out of a box truck costs out the ass, but is worth it. Yes, it certainly does, Keith. Anytime you do something like that, it costs a lot of money. What boat will you be sailing? Sorry, late to the show. Chris, I am buying a CNC 37. CNC 37 is the boat I am buying. Second chance sailing, it's limit. It's HTML5. That's the problem. Oh, okay. Watching on Explorer, no problems. So is Ruby Rose for sale now? Yes, Ruby Rose is for sale now, Tracy. But I I understand if they sell Ruby Rose, they're just going to be buying another boat. They're not going to stop their channel. So, oh, I missed some chats. I missed some people there. And guys, I really try to do my best to keep up and answer everybody. So I have 600 hours filmed, but got to learn to edit. Well, Keith, that's the job. That is the job. Editing can be very difficult and it can be very easy. I use Adobe Premiere Pro. I think it works very well, but there's a learning curve on how to figure it out. It is not as easy to learn as what you might think. So, only Explorer. I've never seen Lazy Gecko fly the mainsail. I don't know. Oh, yeah, Sailing Doodle's old boat. The boat yes, the boat from Kema. That's right, Chris. Yes, that's exactly what the boat I'm buying. So, yeah, the editing kicked my butt. Yeah, editing is tough, man. Hey, New Jersey to Florida. Thank you, sir. Really appreciate it. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Guys, you all rock. I mean, you really do. I can't tell you how much I appreciate the feeling, the love, man. I'm really feeling the love. You guys are awesome, and I appreciate that. So I hope to live up to your expectations and be producing the kind of quality content that I know I'll be doing. So trying to do a little bit of right now, but it's hard being up here in Alaska. Very soon, though. Very soon. Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs, Woolly Bully, you might like. Okay. Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs. Wow, Gregor, you're showing your age, ma'am. That's old 50s group, isn't it? I was born in 58, but I really didn't get into music till mid-late 60s. This stream, I believe, Grandpa, has been your best one so far. Well, thank you, Keith. I appreciate that. Has anyone checked out SV Seeker? Yes, I've watched some of their episodes. I know it's a lot of work, but I hope it goes on for another hour. Actually, Keith, it's no work at all. I mean, I'm just sitting here talking to you guys, so there's hardly any work to this at all. I mean, this is easy. I'm sitting here kicking back, enjoying a beer and having a chat with friends. I mean, what could be better in life? So you did great. Well, thank you. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. Get Camtasia Studio for editing. If you don't have much money, get Windows Live Movie Maker. It's free. Yeah, I've gotten the Windows Movie Maker and stuff. I use the Adobe Creative Cloud, and I get charged, I think, $30 a month for that. You don't have to lay out a bunch of cash to buy it. It's just a subscription service through the Creative Cloud. And that seems to work pretty good for me at this point. I used to have a hard copy of that, but the wife got that in the divorce. So I would have rather had the hard copy and not have to be worrying about the online version. Are you getting an Iridium Go for the boat? I don't know, Phil. I don't know about that yet. I'm looking into them. It all depends on my economics at the time. I don't know. Probably not initially, because initially I'm pretty much going to be places where I'll have cellular service. But maybe pretty soon. I just got to get out there and see what's problems I'm running into, and that'll be the litmus test for that. How will you have internet out on the ocean? Well, that's what the Iridium Go would be for. Would be for having internet through satellite communications while offshore. But it's pretty limited. So you really, I mean, you can do a couple emails back and forth, and that's about it. You really can't upload videos or download videos. You can transmit and get weather files and that sort of stuff, but you really don't have like streaming video while you're out in the ocean. You just don't have it. So Sailing Creo is another great channel for those who have not watched it yet. Yeah, a +1. Sailing Creo is an awesome channel. It's a couple, again, from England. They have a boat currently in the Greek Isles, I believe they're at right now, or right off the coast of Greece. They just went through the Corinth Canal. Really nice people, doing a good channel. I've been enjoying following Sailing Creo. I highly recommend them. So there's a free professional software you can use for free, huh? Video keeps freezing up. Oh, I'm sorry to hear it's freezing up. Is anybody else having buffering problems, or is it isolated? Does CC have problems with their bulkheads? Stuart, not to my knowledge. I've heard nothing but good stuff about the CNCs. I really have. I've heard nothing but good stuff. CNC Cruisers Group, some positive stuff there. Good reputation, solid boats. They're not like, you know, the cows, which I'm accustomed to, that have the really big, heavy, thick hulls. They're almost more of a more modern, thinner hull design, but they seem to be pretty good. Okay, Carl says no problems here in the UK, so we're no one's buffering. Okay. Sail Life is another favorite one of mine. Yeah, Sail Life is funny. Good channel. Sundowner Sails again. I don't think I think they quit. I think Sundowner Sails again may have quit. I don't know for a fact, though. Don't know for a fact. Am I going solo? No, I'm not going to be going solo. Well, yes, I'm going solo, and no, I'm going solo. I'm going to be having guest people on board on a regular basis. So, life is like sailing. He lives on a CNC 34 in BC. Yes, he does. What's the condition of the sails on the rough seas? Keith, the foresail has some holes in it, needs some work. The mainsail's in pretty good shape. I do have a Sailrite sewing machine I'll be taking with me. Bob assures me that the foresail will hold together until I get back to Florida, and then at that point I'm going to take them down and resew them, restitch them, and get them in better shape. So, okay, they did sell their boat, but it was wondering how they were. I don't know. If they sold their boat, I don't know how they are. I'm excited to see a channel that provides information, educates, shows living on the water. I like a lot of other sailing channels, but there are so many that just party wherever they go. Yeah, and Austin, I may be sitting here drinking a beer during the live stream, but as a general rule, I mean, I usually have like 1 or 2 beers a week, and I have them here in the live stream. That's about the extent of it. So, I don't do a lot of partying, and I do a lot of scuba diving, so you really can't do a lot of partying when you're doing a lot of scuba diving, so it's just what it is. So I'm using Edge as well. Okay, parched. Yeah, I was parched till I started this Heineken. And I gotta say, guys, there's nothing like a good cold beer. Man, it's a spot. Doodle's crew is having a meet and greet this coming Friday near my home. Is it Friday, King? King of Chuck? Because I understood, I thought Bob just put out a notice that he was doing a live stream tomorrow. I think he's doing a live stream tomorrow, Monday. Or maybe that might be just for people on Patreon. I don't know. That might be just Patreon, and maybe he's going to do another one Friday for everybody else. I don't know. What about the pineapple last week? Don't know what you're referring to there, Rhonda. Use iMovie. Plan to upgrade to Final Cut Pro. There you go. Didn't Kenny die 20 years ago? No idea. Slushy beer. What did you learn to sail? Brad, I had a girlfriend in high school whose parents had a sunfish in Manhasset Bay, Port Washington, New York, and we learned to sail while having sailing dates, if you will, out in Manhasset Bay, and that's really where I learned to sail, was with her out on that little boat. Other than that, I chartered down the BVI a couple times with instructional skippers, and reminded myself, because it's been a long time, obviously, since I've been out with the girlfriend, and since then I bought a couple boats myself and sailed them, and it's not rocket science, guys. It's not that hard. It's pretty easy to do. Meet and greet is on Friday. Okay, good. No, just Patreon tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, I don't think Marie would be going to the meet and greet because it's in California, and Marie is not anywhere near California. Rogers only looks like he died 20 years ago. Yeah, Kenny Rogers, yep. Kelly, Megan is telling us, the family, a lot of great sailing stories. Kim and I are very excited for you to get out of Alaska and get out on the water. Kelly, I am too, and I'm looking forward to you and Kim and Marie to come out and join us out on the boat for a little while. You guys will have to figure out some way of getting to us and come out and party with us, because that's going to be awesome. Oh, check out the Country House Gent for narrow boats. Very relaxing, one of my favorites. Okay, Tim, that's interesting. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, they have a group of what they call narrow boats or canal boats in England. Used to be used for transporting cargo. Now they've been replaced, but now people have modified those and live on these narrow boats, and they're really narrow. They're like 6-7 feet wide and then 40 feet long or so. And they're all modified to be houses now. People live on them. It's kind of an interesting lifestyle. So there's another narrowboat channel. Okay. You just need a cabana boy. Rhonda needs a cabana boy? Okay. I agree. I think she does need a cabana boy. That would make her happy. Got to get out to the garden soon to start watering. All right, Grizz. Hey, Kelly, we love you guys too, man. I'm serious. You guys need to get out on the boat with me. My teenage daughter is no help. She's laughing at Carl and watching K-pop. K-pop. Narrowboat is a band that play. Okay, well, I guess I completely blew that then, didn't I? Narrowboats that's what they call them, the narrowboats in England that sail up and down the canals. So probably where they got the name from for the band. Good to know, King of Chuck. Cabana Boy is a Saturday Night Live skit. I don't watch Saturday Night Live, guys, so I'm not much good there. I follow about 12 different narrowboat channels. Wow, okay. Dave Zairi, go to work, man. No problem. We'll see you later. And really appreciate your participation here on the chat today, dude. Thank you so very much. Girlfriend sailor taught me on the 12 butterfly scow I bought. Sailed Burnett Bay, New Jersey. Okay, cool. Yeah, girlfriends are great for teaching us young guys how to sail. And I'm just going to leave it right at that. I think you miss keeping up with all the sailing channels when you're sailing. You know, Dave, I really will. It's going to be sailing with Rural because, I get up in the morning now and I get on here and I scour through all the videos. I don't watch them all anymore. I pick out the ones I want to watch. I don't have time to watch them all. There's like 100 sailing channels now. You can't watch all of them. So I pick the ones that seem like they would be of most interest for me, and I watch that and I move on. But I will miss that once I'm out sailing, because once I'm out sailing, I'm not going to have full-time internet like I do have here at home. So be different. But it will also be freeing up my time to allow me to create content instead of just consuming content. So from that standpoint, I think it's going to be pretty exciting. So enjoyed your scuba video this week, Grandpa. You really have a gift for conversation. Yes, I'm full of crap, and I allow verbal diarrhea to extract it from myself. But thank you, King of Chuck. I appreciate that. I had some people had some questions about some of the dive gear, and so I wanted to just elaborate a little bit more on it. And a lot of people are afraid of it because they don't understand the terminology or the equipment. And so I was trying to make it more familiar for them so they can have a better understanding. And I'll continue doing that in the videos that I produce. Hey, Mike A., good night, sirs. You take care. Appreciate it. Where in Alaska are you? I am I'm at mile 96 on the Parks Highway. I'm 3 miles off the Parks Highway on Montana Creek Road. So I'm south of Talkeetna. I am 100 miles north of Anchorage and about 250 miles south of Fairbanks. But to give you some perspective of how remote I am, Chris, if I head this direction, which is east behind my house, it's 180 miles to the first road. And if I head west out of my house, I have a 3-mile drive to the Parks Highway. Once I cross the highway, it's 1,000 miles to the coast towards Russia without a single road going across it. So I live in a very remote part of Alaska with not a lot of neighbors. But we do have a lot of moose and bears and that kind of stuff, just not a lot of people. So big areas. So Boompa, do you still watch La Vagabond? Yes, I do watch La Vagabond. It's changing a little bit. Not necessarily for the better, I think, but yeah, I've been following La Vagabond. I thought you could fill the boat up with just your scuba gear, lots of gear. Yeah, I definitely have, and yet, I really don't have anything near what I would love to have in the way of scuba gear. And that didn't show you all the tools that I'm bringing, all the fishing gear I'm bringing, all the camera gear I'm bringing. I'm going to sink the boat before I even untie from the dock with all the gear I'm carrying. So, did you see La Vagabond's latest video? Second Chances, I am a patron of theirs, so I saw their latest video and then the one that you probably haven't seen yet. So yes, I have seen them. But which one are you referring to? I live in Missouri, King of Chuck. Yes, Marie does live in Missouri. You won't have to live vicariously through other people's channels. You'll be out there doing it. Yes, you'll be able to live vicariously through my channel, which would be nice. Will you keep your place in there while selling? No, Chris, I'm selling everything I own. I'm selling everything right down to my truck and my trailer, selling the cabin here, selling the acreage in Alaska. I am not going to have I'm going to be homeless, people. I'm going to be homeless without an address. So my boat, my address is going to be whatever's underneath my hat. Can you hear the AR train coming into or out of Talkeetna? Yes, I can hear the train going in and out of Talkeetna. It passes by on the other side. It's about 6 miles from my cabin. I can't hear it in the summertime, but I do hear it in the wintertime. Too many leaves on the trees in the summertime to hear it. So, Marie, I see, so I won't be able to buy you a beer. I'll drink one for you. There you go. No, Chris, selling it, closing soon. Yep. We're supposed to have the appraisal done by Wednesday and closed by the end of the month. And then I'm going to be without real estate. I think Vaga's vid got way too professional when they went on the cat. No, I won't say went professional. It just seemed like the demeanor changed. They're not. They're a little impressed with themselves right now, as I'm sure I would be too if I was in their situation. And so I kind of discount that and appreciate that. It's going to take some time. Let's give them some time and see what happens. I'm sure they will get back to being their normal selves. I hope so anyway. They're a real nice couple. I think they just need to kind of get over this hump and kind of get over themselves a little bit, and then they'll be okay. But they've seen some really tremendous success right now, and I think it's kind of gone to their head a little bit. But I think they'll be fine. Delos had an amazing scuba video a couple of days ago. Yes, they did. And I was talking about that earlier. I find it amazing how many channels all of a sudden did a scuba video. Delos did a scuba video. Rick Moore did a scuba video. Drenched, of course, if you follow Drenched. If you guys don't watch Drenched, you should. There's a YouTube channel called Drenched, Drenched. They pretty much do just scuba diving, but recently they were out on Rick's boat with him, Rick Moore, from Sailing Sophisticated Lady. But they did some scuba footage. So it was like everybody was doing scuba footage this past week. It was pretty cool. Yes, Grandpa is selling the farm to go sail. Yep. Tonight's chat has been exceptionally good. Great job, everyone. Well, thank you, New Jersey to Florida. Appreciate that. Lavaga isn't the same now. No, I think they'll get back, Chip, to where they were at. I think they just need some time. Delos is number one. Well, Delos has the largest audience and the best Patreon support. La Vagabond actually took a pretty good hit with their patronage when they went onto the catamaran. They lost a lot of support, but now they've kind of bridged that gap and are building back up again. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Sailing Uma, another great channel. Yep, they're out having a lot of fun on their boat. They're building up nicely. I did find it very interesting that Sailing Uma all of a sudden is finally admitting that he needs an outboard for his dinghy. I thought that was great. So we'll have to see how that develops. Very interesting. Just subscribe to Drenched. Yeah, Drenched is a pretty good channel. Really nice folks. They're just kids, and you're right. Things have happened very fast. Imagine being a basketball player. Yeah, exactly. I mean, exactly that. Gregor, that's a perfect example. That's like being a high school basketball player. Next thing you know, you're in the NBA with $30 million contract. You know, you're gonna do stupid things with that. So they are kids. They'll figure it out. They'll be fine. So, Brad, thank you. Good luck to you too. Great, but they may be in for an awakening on their next big ocean passage. I don't know, Tim. Why would you say that? They've done ocean passages before. That cat is a great platform, certainly more than capable of doing ocean passages. So many people think the catamarans aren't good for crossing oceans. I'd much rather be in a catamaran crossing an ocean than a monohull, truth be told. I think they're safer as long as you know what you're doing. You don't overpower them. You know, you have a drogue if you need to, if you get into a situation where you've got really high winds, but they're certainly a more comfortable vehicle for sailing. So I don't know, Tim, if I agree with that, but we'll see. Sailing Uma needed an outboard. That was funny hearing that from him. Yeah. I thought it was interesting, Chip, that they, finally acclimated to, okay, yes, as much as they've been pushing it and fighting it and telling everybody how they want to be purists, they found out that sometimes purist leaves you sitting on the dock without any way of getting back to your boat. So, and they didn't want to spend the night on the beach, so they pretty much have come to the conclusion, yeah, they need an outboard. Sometimes you just need an outboard. And mark my words, it won't be long before they do the same thing with their sailboat. They realize they need to put a diesel back on board. Because there's sometimes you just got to outrun stuff. You don't have time to sit and wait for the wind. It's the wind that's coming that worries you, and you got to get the hell out of there and get someplace safe before the wind gets to you. So I think it's easy to overpower in a storm and cause damage without first realizing it. Yeah, I agree, Tim. You got to know what you're doing when you're selling a catamaran. Absolutely. And all catamarans will tell you that, if the wind gets to this, you got to reef to that. If the wind gets to this, you got to reef to that. Or, have inventory of a storm sail. Have drogues to drag behind you to keep you in the right position and at the right speed. So, Lavaga said they had their boat up to 22 knots. It wouldn't surprise me a bit. That catamaran's got an awful lot of water line, so it's going to be a pretty fast boat. How do I fund this? Brad, how I'm funding this is I've been working hard my entire life, dreaming about doing this for the last 40 years. And I've now gotten to the point where I'm selling everything I own to raise the money to buy a boat. I'm not buying a big, expensive boat. I'm not buying a very big, expensive boat at all. Bob was offering the boat for sale at $35,000. I'm paying a lot less than that for it. So I'm buying a decent boat that I'm going to be able to go sailing on. I'm going to have a very small cruising kitty initially and hope to build my YouTube channel up enough that I can continue. If not, I'll go back to selling real estate. So I can't wait for Chuck and Laura to finish remodeling. Oh, man, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what it looks like when it's done. For those of you that don't know, Chuck and Laura are a couple on a 27-foot monohull that they're completely rebuilding up here in Alaska. They often sail it back and forth between Alaska and Hawaii. So when I head to the South Pacific, you're ready to join the trip. Well, it's going to be a while, Chris. Probably not going to hit the South Pacific till 2019 or 2020. Got a lot of things I have to do before I go that direction. But yeah, I will be having guests on board. So what am I drinking? Heineken. What do you think of the Outreamer Cat? I think the Outreamer Cat's an awesome boat. I really do. The Outremer, as they call it, or us Americans call it an Outreamer. I think they're a very good, well-made boat, very well designed. So it's a good cat. Chip, we all love hearing it, but I love sailing Uma's Spirit. Yeah, sailing, I have to admit, sailing Uma's Spirit is awesome. I love their passion for it. I feel that the Outremer is built and outfitted more for racing than for cruising. Well, Tim, you can almost say the same thing for all the catamarans, and you may be, in fact, correct. But I do believe Outremer is really kind of... No, the model that they're on is more of a cruising boat than a racing boat. There are some catamarans out there that are race boats, but they're more of a cruising type boat. Look at the interior finishes and the weight of all the stuff they added to it. They weren't designing that to really go fast to race. So got a Columbia 45. Wow, nice boat, Marshall. Nice boat. Why the Med? Why the Med? Souvlaki, Keo beer, Parisian rolls, great Italian food, Turkish kebabs. All food, huh? Just thought of that myself. All food items. No, I've done some traveling in the Med, and so I'm interested in going back there again. I want to sail into the Med. I really want to hit the Greek Isles and the Turkish coast and those areas. But there's a lot of places I like to scuba dive there, so that's going to be pretty cool. Bill's been averaging about 1 million more views a month for a while. The latest 30-day data over 500,000. Yeah, they've really been kicking butt compared to selling La Vagabond. La Vagabond took a huge hit when they got on their catamaran. So, where are you located, Marshall? I don't know. I'm in Eastern North Carolina. Well, there you go. I'm currently looking at an older Bayfield as a liveaboard. Well, there you go. Very good. New subs are dropping for selling La Vagabond at around 7,000, down 50%. Delos is at 9,400. New subs up 25%. Yeah, Jonathan. Selling La Vagabond took a big hit going to the catamaran. That really frustrated and angered a lot of the people that were following them. But I will say that at this point, it looks like that's beginning to turn around, and they're starting to make some gains again. So, more performance than a Lagoon, but still a cruising cat. Yeah, Johnny Hag, I agree. Yes. And, of course, if it was up to me, if I had the money, I would buy a Lagoon 440. Okay, if I had the money, I would buy, what would I buy? A Yaplunka. I would buy a Yaplunka. Yaplunka down a whole lot of money, or what's it called? Bluebell, Blue Boat, Blue. There's another one out there that makes catamarans, but they're all aluminum. English made. Another great company, but and eventually I will be on a catamaran. I just want it so I have all the extra space for use for doing our social science work and having guests on and stuff. But not right now. So I want to buy a 30-foot S2 just because of the shower and the layout of the galley. I might end up with a cat instead. Yeah. Did you watch the live stream Friday night? I think they seem all good, still down to earth Aussies. I did watch that, Dave Barry, and yeah, they are still good. I asked them a question during their live stream. What issues did they find with the Altimer yet? Have they discovered anything about it that they think needs to be upgraded or repaired? And they refused to answer that question, even though I asked it a couple times. So that brings some credibility issues from my perspective, and then that they're not being, upfront with that. I think if I was on that boat, even with their deal, I would have to insist that I be honest about stuff. And if I was Outremer, I would want them to be honest about it, because then that means that I've already knew about it and fixed it. Because if I was Outremer and they had anything like that they had any concerns or problem with, whatever the little stupid thing that there is, the stove doesn't work right, or this button's not right, or whatever the little nonsense stuff is, I would want to know about it and get it all fixed. And I'm sure if they made Outremer aware of it, it would get fixed very quickly. So, okay, if money is no option, check out gunboats. I have looked at gunboats, yes. Really nice boats. They're not really designed for people my size. They tend not to have great big openings for big fat people like me to go in and out. So, are you far from the Juneau Gun Club? Yes. Juneau is down on southeast Alaska. I am south central Alaska. Probably 1,000 miles from Juneau. The news need to overlook what we have now attitude. They also have new to adjust full-time filmer and patron crew members. Yeah, that's true. They also changed up at the same time that they got the catamaran. They also hired in someone to do some filming for them. And so they're having some growing pains in that regard. They'll work it out. They'll sort it out. Just be patient with them. The only way QC can happen, listen to the customers. That's right. Yep. You got to get feedback from your customers so you can know what you need to fix. So, okay. So I caught up with everybody. All right. Whew. That was a job and a half. And I still probably missed some questions in there, but it is what it is. I was bad today about something, guys, and I was going to show this to you. I've said all along, and I'm honest, that I really have been cutting down my drinking lately. But last Wednesday, when we did our live stream, I had a beer, and it was really good. So I had another, and then I cracked open a bottle I've had for a long time, and I'm just having fun with it. So I'm not a huge heavy drinker, but can you see that? The Kraken rum. Had this bottle for a long time, but to go along with the Heineken, it seemed like a good idea to have a little rum. I mean, we are sailors after all, right? Woo! Good stuff. Spiced rum. Release the Kraken. There you go. I think the kids from Lavaga will not talk down about Outremer due to the deal they made. Well, sure, Tim. I'm sure that they're afraid to say anything negative, but I think if they're going to keep their viewers, you need to be honest about what's wrong with the boat. So, how's the old bugger on holidays now for 2 weeks, just after 9 a.m. Monday a.m. here in Perth? Well, thanks, Craig. I appreciate that. I am doing fine, and yes, it's my birthday in 5 days on the 11th. So, yes, getting the rum taste ready for my trip. Thanks for letting me be here. Chip, no problem, man. Pass them here. Hey, Mike, here. I'll hand it to you, dude. Have some. Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum. I will say, when I was in the British Virgin Islands a few years ago, we were doing our television show called Travelers in Paradise. There's some episodes on YouTube if you want to do a search for Travelers in Paradise. And in one of the episodes that we did, we went to a brewery, a rum distillery, actually, not a brewery, a distillery, by the Colwood family, where they were making rum and have been making rum the same way for like, 200 years. And it was pretty cool to see this old, wreck of a distillery. I mean, it was just shambles, really. But yet they're still cranking out the Colwood rum. So good stuff. How cool isn't that a new dive spot? Yeah, actually, the Kraken is a new dive spot. You're right. They just sank a ship off in the British Virgin Islands that has someone sculpted with wire mesh a Kraken, a big octopi on top of the ship, a giant, huge octopi, and they sank that to be a artificial reef, which is pretty cool. And I will be on there and be seeing that this December when I go to the BVI. So that'll be fun. That'll put hair on your chest. Yes, it will. Will you be diving in Malta when you get to the Med? Absolutely will dive every place I can possibly dive. So I would look forward to diving in Malta. Absolutely. Well, Tim, I'm glad that you're hanging out with us. I'm glad that you're here. Adventure Drift are sharing some awesome footage from the Baja Peninsula. They have quite a unique... Yeah, Adventure Drift does have an interesting channel. And they do some weird stuff, like building their own dinghy and stuff. They do some interesting things. They have a unique perspective of what they're doing. I kind of enjoy watching them. Trying to hit a fireball, Grandpa. Cheers. There you go, Chip. Cheers. Vega have gone way down my list, to be honest. Even on Facebook, they are prostituting music channels and getting beyond the joke. Yeah, Declan, I did notice that they have been a bit of a sellout with doing a lot of commercials and that kind of stuff on their channel. Again, it's learning curve. They're trying to make bank. They're young kids trying to put some money in the bank. I'm not going to beat them up too bad for it at this point. However, if it continues to get worse, I'm hoping they can do it. Guys, there's ways of doing this, Like, okay, as an example. Now, I am not sponsored by Heineken. But by me drinking a Heineken on my channel, this is, in essence, what we call product placement. Okay? I have mine covered in a little doohickey here. You wouldn't know it was Heineken unless I showed it to you or told you it. But if Heineken were to contact me as a sponsor, I would do away with the cover, and I would make sure that we have product placement on the channel. Not that I would do a big commercial about Heineken and talk about how wonderful Heineken is and it's the best beer in the world and it's better than any other beer. No, I would never do something like that because I don't believe that. But I would allow for product placement and let it to be shown. I wouldn't be, what's the one that they're doing right now for Audible.com? I would, if I was doing a product placement on Audible.com, I would say, oh man, I was on Audible.com and I downloaded this really cool book. You should, I don't know if you guys use Audible, but you should check it out. That's an intelligent, correct way of promoting them, not to do, well, this is Audible and you go here and you pay this and you do that. Way too formal, man. You got to keep it fun. You got to keep it fun. So again, they have a learning curve. Yes, they're prostituting music and Audible and a bunch of other stuff right now. They're trying to figure out their direction. I'm going to be patient and hope they get there. So we'll have to see what goes on. Now, someone was just talking about Cruisers forums. There's a great thread on different rums on the Cruisers forums. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Lots of them, actually. How about getting Kraken sponsorship? There you go. I could do that. About Gray for Men. Oh, man, that's mean. That's mean. Boo. For the Heineken. Thank you, Gregor. Appreciate it, sir. And on that note, I'm going to get a refill. because that was the last little bit in that one. So if you don't mind the shakiness here for a second. And we're back. Just had to grab out of the fridge. Thank you, Gregor. Appreciate that. Another cold Heine. You know, I will say this much, and again, like I said, I'm not sponsored by Heineken, okay? One of the reasons that I enjoy Heineken, besides the fact that it's a good tasting beer, when I was going to high school in Bahrain in the Persian Gulf, Heineken is one of the few beers we were able to have while we were there. The British Club in Bahrain used to bring it in, and so it was one of the few places we could get beer was to go to the British Club, and for some reason, the only beer the British Club had was Heineken, which isn't from Britain, which I always thought was pretty weird. But when I was in high school in Bahrain, Heineken is what we had available to us, so we learned to drink Heineken. I also like Heineken because they sponsor a lot of sailboat races, which is kind of cool too. So, but other than that, I'm not sponsored by Heineken, and I also like Beck's and Amstel and Keogh and a whole bunch of other beers as well. So make of that what you will, but this is not a plug from Heineken. Now, if the Kraken Company wants to get in touch with me, I'd be happy. Or better yet, for Miss Lily, if Kirkland wants to get a hold of me and supply Miss Lily with dog bones, that could be awesome too. I'd be a sponsor for them. Oh, now I'm missing a whole bunch of posts. Having too much fun. Grandpa overindulging now. Yes, there you go. You're enabling me. When do you plan to go pick up your new CNC? I will be getting the boat in September. Sometime next month. You're keeping me out of the bar. For that, I thank you. Okay, Gregor. No problem, man. I will drink it for you. Will you climb the mast? No, but I will take the mast down and then work on it while it's on ground level. Or I will find some skinny little person who wants to go sailing and I will send them up the mast. So that's the way I figured that out. So, but hey, is the difference. You drink it, use it, but never pour yourself out. If you use a product, it's so good. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if I'm using a product and it's good, I'm going to tell you it's good. If I'm using a product and it's bad, I'm going to tell you it's bad. And if they don't want to pay me for that, that's fine too. So, are you in a shed? No, Stuart, I am in my cabin in Alaska. I live in a 16-foot by 16-foot dry cabin in Alaska. Or I should say, I live now. I will soon be out of here because we're supposed to close on the sale of the property here. I have a 16 by 16 small cabin on 80 acres here in South Central Alaska that I will be leaving here the first of the month. So, Sailing Adventures with Carl and Jenny published a new post, our third live chat on Patreon. Oh, okay, cool. I don't know why they're up at 1 o'clock in the morning doing a live chat, but hey, more power to them. Carl and Jenny rock. They're good people. That was on a billboard in town. Okay, thanks everyone for sticking with us. We're on hour 2. All beers are good. Just some are better than others. Well, there you go. Yeah, beer's kind of like sex. Even when it's bad, it's good, right? Bud Light for me. I'll drink a cold one for... Ooh, I can't do Bud Light Weigold. You go for it, ma'am. I'm skinny. See you soon. Oh, man. I'm glad you're enjoying the live chat, Chip. I went to school on the West Coast, have many friends, Arabs from Bahrain. Our world has become more complex, needless to say. Yeah, Gregor, it really has, you know. I actually graduated high school at the U.S. DoD school in Bahrain, in Persian Gulf. But before that, I went to high school in New York, in Port Washington. I was supposed to graduate in 1977, guys. And I didn't because apparently my high school told me I owed them a year of PE. Can you imagine that? I got held back a year of high school because I owed them a year of PE, of gym. What bull hockey. So I ended up having to go over to Bahrain to finish my high school and get my diploma. And when I got over there, I had to do an English and I had to do a history class, which I did. And then I played around in the band. I used to be, when I went to college, I was a music major, voice emphasis. I used to sing a lot. Anyhow, so I went to Ohio University, Athens, Ohio, as a voice emphasis music education major. How's that for a lot to say? A lot of fun. Anyhow, now I don't do any of that stuff anymore. Nothing wrong with making a buck, doing what you enjoy, as long as you're not hurting anyone. There you go, Tim. I really like that philosophy. You know, I kind of live that philosophy in everything in my life. I don't care what you do as long as you don't hurt somebody. You can do whatever you want to do in your life, regardless of whatever it is. I don't care as long as you don't hurt anybody else. I'm down with it. It's been my life philosophy that I've enjoyed and followed, and so many people get kind of so perplexed with stuff, but oh well. Double shot of Crown. Oh gosh, no. I don't do Crown. Toad suckers. Oh gosh, Rhonda and her toad. Okay, guys, a long time ago, I sang a song called Toad Suckers, and Rhonda has been after me to go out and get that. I went to school in Athens, Ohio, and I got to be friends with some guys there. Jimmy Prouty and Charlie and a few other guys. They had a band called the New Vinton County Frog Wompers Marching, Singing, Strumming, and Plucking Society. They always wanted to be a big-name band, see? And anyhow, at the end of each performance, whenever they would play a gig anywhere in town, they would end it with a song called the Toad Sucker Song. And it always stuck with me. And so I decided one night, I don't know why, but I sang it at the end of one of my videos. And for some reason, Rhonda really seems like she likes that. So I'm going to sing for you the Toad Sucker Song. How about them toad suckers? Ain't they sappy? Sucking them toads all shore, make them happy. Hug a mug of toad suckers way down south. Sticking them sucky toads in they mouth. I be a toad sucker, don't want to duck it. You just find an old toad and you rear back and suck it. Cheers, friends. And I guess you have to be living in Southeast Ohio and be a bit of a hill rat to appreciate the fact that some people do eat frogs. So, what is my favorite island in the BVI? Hands down, Norman Island. I love Norman Island, Brad. Thank you for the question. Hands down, Norman Island. You got the caves there. You got the Willie T. You got Pirates Bite. You got the Indians right out in front of it. It catches a lot of water movement through there, so it's good scuba diving. I really like that spot. Thank you for asking. Marie, oh my, that's funny. Yeah, how about them toad suckers? Hey, I would liken frying up a pan full of toads, frogs actually, in Southeast Ohio, in Appalachia, I mean, we're talking hillbilly country, is really no different than balling up some bugs down in New Orleans and doing a crawfish boil, or crabs in Maryland where you eat the crabs. I mean, you're sucking on them and getting all the best juices and stuff out of them. If you're in Oregon or Washington, you're eating Dungeness crab. You're doing the same. Up here in Alaska, we have king crab. You're doing the same thing with stuff. Maine lobsters, you suck those juices out of the lobster's legs and stuff. It's no different, except where you are in America, you have a little different species that you play with. But to be a true gourmand, you got to learn to enjoy those things. And if you like chicken wings, buffalo wings, what do? You take the wing of a chicken and you suck it, and you suck the good stuff off the bone and you get rid of the bone. Same thing with sucking a toad. Toad sucker is the same thing. How many subscribers do you need to make money from YouTube? A bazillion, Stuart. A bazillion. It depends on what your definition is of making money. I'm not making any money at all. I've only got 2,000 subscribers. I'm not making any money at all. If I could get up to 40 to 50,000 subscribers, I would be generating enough money from YouTube to be able to continue doing my channel ad infinitum. at about 40,000 subscribers. If that is balanced with a reasonable Patreon group and selling some t-shirts and merchandise and doing live chats and putting together, you know, the whole gambit, that would all work. So now Tim is asking a very important question. He said, where's Lily? And she's getting a little squirrely because she's been in her crate now for 2 hours, almost 2.5 hours. So I'm going to let her out. So, Lily, come here. Get under the wire. Come here. Come here. Here. Here, look at the screen. Look at the screen. There's Lily. Here she is. Here's my girl. My girl? My girl? There you are. Yes, you are. There you go. You turn around and say hello to everybody? You going to say hello to? No, you're not. Okay. All right, get down. So there you go. There's Lily. She's doing great. We have pond lizards here in Florida. Good eating. Lobster is awesome. Yes, it is. Cheshire is the mod. Yeah, I know. She probably should whack me. Tim, Lily is laying in her crate next to Carl. Not at the moment. She's out of her crate. Free Lily. Yeah, hashtag free Lily. Yeah, she is awesome. And you guys will see a lot more footage of her as time goes on. If you get a chance, Mr. Grandpa, please tube Thunderstruck by Steve and Seagal's live version. Okay. I'm going to write that down. Steven Seagal's, obviously not the actor. Thunderstruck. Now, is that the same Thunderstruck that's the music? Because if so, I think I've heard that. I'm sure I have, but Labradors are great. Johnny Hagg, Labradors are awesome. My favorite breed. Don't make money. That's counterfeiting earned income. Yes, New Jersey to Florida, I agree with you. That is definitely the correct terminology. Gosh, everything's got to be so PC these days. Great band. Okay, Thunderstruck. Do Alaskans still collect oil revenue money? And if so, do you collect it? Yes and no. Ramble on. We're supposed to get a what's known as a PFD. It is our participation in the oil fund, and every resident who lives up here in Alaska gets a check annually from them. And it can generate, you know, $1,000, $2,000, whatever. I have gotten them in the past. As of late, I no longer feel good about accepting that money, so I have not taken the PFD the last 2 years. So there's your answer. But yes, they still pay you to live in Alaska and be an Alaskan. Where do you pick up the boat? In Florida. No, I'll pick up the boat in Puerto Rico. San Juan, Puerto Rico. It is. It's sitting there in the marina, and it's sitting there waiting for me. Man, you know, guys, I can't tell you how much I can just taste it. I took your advice on how to buy a boat site. Oh, no. I hope you didn't do that. I'm in Florida right now. I put in contingencies on personal inspection, satisfaction survey. There you go. Yes, contingencies for personal inspection and satisfaction survey. Excellent. Okay. Very good, Angela. Love to hear that. Do you vision corrected lens in your dive goggles? Yeah, my dive goggles, I have these glue-in. They're bifocals that I buy. They come in a little box, and you just moisten it, and you stick it onto the glass on the inside of your scuba goggles. Mask, as you're supposed to use the right terminology, mask, and it creates a bifocal in the bottom of the glass so that I can see my gauges. And that's all I ever use it for, is just to see my gauges. I don't need reading glasses. I don't need glasses to see anything out in front of me. I just need it for reading something right this close to me. And so they're very good for that. You'll find them at most dive shops, or you can buy them online. I think scuba.com sells them. They're really cool. Now, they're not a prescription by any means. They're just a magnification. Like, I only go out and go to Costco and I buy these. These are like 150 magnification, which is, 1.5 times whatever normal. And so I just use these to magnify. They're not a prescription glasses. I don't need a prescription. In other words, I don't have astigmatism or anything weird going on with my glasses. I just need magnification. And so those bifocals provide that for me. The owner lied and deceived us about being nothing wrong with the boat. We're out the money for survey and haul out, but owner would not deal on price, so we still have no boat. Well, I am sorry that you're out the money for the survey and the haul out, but at least you didn't buy a boat that was a piece of junk. So, I mean, that is the price of doing business. Yes, the survey and the haul out do cost money, but at least now you know that that boat's a piece of crap and you're not buying it. So that probably saved you a whole lot of money in the long run. Had you gone the other direction and just bought it sight unseen, whatever the survey turned out, you would now have all kinds of problems. So, Angela, I'm not going to apologize for telling you to buy it subject to survey and haul out and inspection, because that's all stuff you should do. If the price range is right. Now, it doesn't make any sense to go out and spend $700 on a survey on a $400 boat. I hope you would understand that. But if you're going to go out and spend $100,000 on a boat, then yeah, spend $700 and get it surveyed, so you're not going out and blowing a bunch of money. I'll give you an example, Angela. Some friends of mine went out and bought a boat that the survey and had it surveyed. Surveyor went out and looked over the boat, spent $750 for the survey. Comes back, the boat ended up with a rotten support underneath the compression post. Dog, you're hitting the table. Don't do that. Now they're looking at $20,000 in repairs to repair the support underneath the compression post in order to get that boat where it would be safe to sail. So, that's the kind of stuff you're protecting yourself from. If you're going to go out and buy a cheap boat, then you may not want to do that. But if you're spending a lot of money for a big boat, then yeah, the cost of the survey and the cost of the haul out, that's the cost of doing business and boat shopping. So I guess I protected you from an owner that lied and deceived you. Are you mad at me for that? Is that what you're saying? Thank you for the available advice. Okay. Well, I'm glad you didn't buy that boat. Carl and Jenny, you guys going to bed? Wimps. Okay, it's gone 2 a.m. Need to get some sleep. See, that's what happens when you become a cop. You retire. You're a policeman. You're up all night. You get old, and you go to bed early. No problem. Carl and Jenny, you guys have a good night. You guys take care. Love you guys. Have a good, pleasant evening. Thanks for staying up so late to watch my live stream. I appreciate it. So what type of music are you going to make on the boat, Grandpa? Oh, man. Dave, I've been working on that. Been thinking about that. I have my guitar. I've been looking at some keyboards. I've been looking at saxophone. Been playing around with that. No definite answer yet, but I've got some stuff I'm going to be playing with. So, why Gold, you take care? Yeah, I'm not changing them to Wednesday. I'm going to do a Wednesday and a Sunday live stream for different people in different parts of the world. So, moral of the story is don't be cheap. There you go. Survey and haul out on a boat over $20,000. Absolutely, yeah. You're spending over $20,000, and you want to have a survey and haul out. The only reason why I'm spending the money I am for buying the rough seas is because I'm trusting Bob, being that he's a real public entity and we've gotten to be a bit of a friend. And he showed me the original survey that was just done 1.5 years ago. That's why I'm not going to do another survey. So it wasn't a cheap boat, and I thank you again for the advice. It was definitely a learning experience. Good, Angela. I'm glad I could help. I feel awesome that I was able to help. I thought you were going to yell at me for wasting your money on spending the money on a survey, but yeah, it's something that you got to go through, unfortunately, with boats. When you get on the boat, I predict your subs will grow greatly. Brad, I would hope so. I mean, frankly, right now, I'm all BS. I'm all, some crazy lunatic up in Alaska talking a good story. It's not until I actually get on the boat that things become real. So I'm hoping once I get on the boat, things will start to grow. Any advice on underwater metal detector for diving? Adam, I've been looking at and doing some research in this regards. I'm not sold on any particular one yet, but there's a lot. There's a plethora of metal detectors good for underwater use. So I guess all I can tell you at this point, Adam, is follow along. I will be buying a metal detector for use while scuba diving. And at that point, I'll be able to tell you what I was able to determine and find. I haven't made that final decision yet. So Keith says, Grandpa is wondering how you put together a bunch of different types of tools you'll be taking on the boat with you. Ooh, Keith, that was a tough problem, man. I'm a tool hog, Keith, so it's really, I'm bad. I'm really bad with this. I'm taking way too many tools. I have a bunch of tools. It was like having my fingernails ripped out of my fingers, having the guy from the auction company come here and load up my toolboxes and haul everything away. It was like ripping my heart out, seeing all my tools that I've cherished over the years disappear. But I decided time for a clean slate. So I'm down to some very basic minimum stuff. I will do a video about what tools I'm taking with me. That will be coming up. But man, it was hard. It was really hard to make that decision. So things will get real. Yes, Bob Down, they will get real very quickly. Has anyone seen the cane toads that we have here in Australia? They are that big, they can damage your vehicle suspension when you hit. Really? Wow. No, I have not seen cane toads that big. I know we have bullfrogs here in Ohio, and that's what I was talking about with toad suckers. I'm really talking about bullfrogs, and they really shouldn't be calling them toads because they're not toads, they're a frog, but good for practicing your golf swing. Thud. Oh, man. All right. Well, guys, we have gone over 2.5 hours. So we're having, hey, Super Antonio. More packing videos. Okay. We will be doing more packing videos on the stuff that I'm packing to get organized. Did you see Adventures of an Old Sea Dog video a couple days ago? Go to the 7-minute mark. Adam, I have been watching and following the Old Sea Dog for a long time now. What is at the 7-minute mark? Why don't you just tell us and we'll skip right to that, because I don't remember what he was doing at the 7-minute mark of his latest video. Yeah, Bob Down, I'm sorry, but we've been going 2 hours 36 minutes as of right now. And it's okay. We can go longer a little bit. No, not a problem. Do you still have your sailboat in Alaska? No, I sold my sailboat in Alaska last summer in preparation for what I'm doing now. So there was no reason for me to keep it over the winter. Now, in retrospect, I probably should have. I should have kept it over the winter because I could be out using it now. But frankly, I'm so busy right now with cleaning up the property and marketing it and getting it sold and packing, I wouldn't have had time. So Bob Down says, one day I want to be an old sea dog. Well, Bob, guess what? I'm an old sea dog. Good luck on your journey. Thank you, Marco. Marco 721. It's going to be a blast. Want to see Lily's packing video. Was like, she wants to take on the boat. Oh, that's interesting, Aaron. She wants her dog crate, which she can't have on the boat because there's no room for her dog crate on the boat. Yeah, that'd be interesting to do a dog video from her perspective. What time is it there? It is 5:33 in the afternoon, in the evening here in Alaska. I feel the same way about selling. Yeah, selling everything for your RV is the same thing. You must have a record for the longest chat. YouTube says it started 3 hours ago. Yeah, that's 2 hours and 38 minutes ago. It's going on. Site don't mean to plug another site. No, Gregor, plug another site, man. I have no problem with you plugging other sites on here. No problem whatsoever. If it's a good channel, plug away. If it's your own channel, plug away. I have no problem with that. People helped me when I was getting started. I have no problem helping everybody else come along. So, I don't mean Doug is a wealth of knowledge. He's been building an 80-foot junk in his front yard. You could, oh, right. Yes, SV Seeker. Yeah, this is the guy that's welding his own boat together and been doing it for a long time. Yep. Yep. Very interesting channel. It'd be I just can't wait to see if he actually goes and sails. So it'd be interesting. I forgot about that. Yes, SV Seeker is the guy welding up his own. When you said junk, it clicked on me. Epic scene of his departure across the Atlantic. A boyhood dream made me think of you. Okay, Adam. Yeah, I remember what you're talking about. That's when he was leaving the Canary Islands, and he was excited about sailing across the ocean. I remember that scene exactly. I know what you're talking about. And you know what? It touched me, too. I got a lump in my throat while he was doing that. So I can relate. Man, can I relate to that? So, yeah, it was so great for me to see him achieving that goal. I'm experiencing a lot of those kind of moments myself right now. So, Scream's been a great one, bud. Well, thanks, Georgia boy. Hey, it's been a great one because of cool people like you, man. That's why it's been great, because of awesome folks like you. I don't do sailing. I'm a single mom who is a musician. Yes, Rhonda is, but Rhonda will get her butt out sailing. I will drag Rhonda kicking and screaming if I have to, but she's going to come out of my boat for a little while. Time for my own shout out. Go ahead, Rhonda. Rhonda's great people. I'm a shower musician, sure. Actually, Rhonda's a really good singer. She's done a couple of songs. She's got some stuff up on her channel. Click on her and go to her YouTube channel. She's got some awesome stuff on there. So, damn boat was 2 tons over. Yeah, Bob, I would do that. I would overload my boat with tools because there's so little I want to give up. I was actually talking to a friend earlier, and we were talking about what tools he should take with him. And, you know, he was talking about things like table saws. Like, no. You don't have room for a table saw on a sailboat. Even if it's a portable contractor saw, you don't have room for one on a sailboat. So, but, you know, other than that, man, you've got all the tools necessary for working fiberglass, all the tools necessary, all the mechanical tools, all the plumbing tools. So, I mean, there's a lot in electrical tools, so there's a lot just in those things. So, where are you taking the boat to in Florida, Boot Key? Yeah, I'm going to go to Marathon first and keep the boat in Marathon while I'm doing some work there, just because I like Marathon and I know Marathon. Thought about taking it in Miami, but I'm just going to keep it in Marathon and drive up to Miami for supplying stock and what have you. But I won't be there long. I'm going to be there only long enough to sell my truck and trailer, and then I'll be heading over to the Bahamas. So, Mine Lab detector. Yes, Mine Lab makes some excellent underwater metal detectors. Very good. The only food I ate back was pot noodles. A lot to be said about that, Bob. Yep. Carry standard and metric. I found I use both. Well, of course. Yeah. Yeah, you need SAE and you need metric, absolutely. Yeah, because, you know, everything on boats nowadays is made over in Europe, so. But the problem is you need the electrical tools, you need the plumbing tools, you need the mechanical tools, and the fiberglass tools. And then the buffers and the polishes and all that. So, I mean, there's a lot that you have to schlep with you. When do you plan to come up the East Coast to go to the Med? Georgia boy, I will plan on doing that this coming spring. This is summer going into fall, winter, the following spring. So I'll probably come up the East Coast. I'm going to visit some family and friends of mine on Long Island and New York before I head over to the Mediterranean. So that's my timeline. To get Rhonda's YouTube, just click on Cheshire Canary, and it should tell you, it should give you ability to subscribe right from that. If you just click on where it says Cheshire Canary, you should be able to subscribe right from there. And you can do that on almost anybody on here, guys. You should be able to, at least I think. Okay, I know I got that deer in the headlights look because I'm trying to read the chat while I'm talking to everybody, so. Oh, man, I'm going to have to get something to eat after all this beer. This is my second. I'm a cheap date these days, guys. I really am. You know, back in the day, I could sit down with a keg of beer. When I was going to college in Ohio University, I used to bartend at the Long Branch Saloon. That was the name of the bar. I used to keep a pitcher of beer on the back of the bar for me while I was working. So I'd make drinks, mix drinks, and give everybody drinks, and I go back and I'd drink out of my pitcher of beer. That beer never got warm in that pitcher. That's how much beer I would drink on a regular basis. It would be nothing for me to drink 3, 4, 5 pitchers of beer at night while working and be able to do my job no problem. Nowadays, 2 Heinekens and I'm a little tipsy already, so I'm a cheap date. Drake Paragon made some great videos selling up the East Coast. He did. Drake made some awesome videos, and now he's just like falling off the face of the earth. I don't understand what's going on with Drake and Monique. They got to Ireland and like quit making content. I don't know what's going on. I really enjoyed Drake's videos. He was one of the first people on YouTube doing videos years and years, I mean 8, 9 years ago. Did some interesting interviews and stuff back then, but now it seems like he really has gotten away from it. So there you go, Rhonda. You're getting all kinds of subscribers now. Probably doubled your subscription just right there. A good DeWalt battery set like drill, jigsaw, sander, and a small trim saw, I think would do. Would some have to have tools on a boat? You never know what you might have to fix. Yeah, I agree with you. I think one of those like DeWalt sets is a good thing. I'm a big DeWalt fan. I have a bunch of them. One of the newest tools that I've gotten from DeWalt that I really like is this little flat plate vibrator that uses a high-speed harmonic but can make straight cuts in the wood and stuff. Really pleased with that. So I really have to post tomorrow. Yes, you do have to post tomorrow. You have to get off your butt and start generating content, Rhonda. How many times have I told you that? Kraken don't count. Marie, how far behind are you in the chat? Kraken don't count. Wow. I don't know. Grandpa, would you ever buy... Oh, the Kraken doesn't count, and the fact that I've been drinking 2 beers? No, it doesn't count. Grandpa, would you ever buy a sailboat with blistered bottom? No, I would not, Angela. Now, that's to say, if it's got a couple of blisters, I would, but if it's, sometimes what happens is they all get blistered, the whole bottom, and then you need to scrape and peel the entire thing, set the boat up on the hard, dry it out for a year or 2. It's a disaster. There used to be people doing videos and a blog called Bumfuzzle that bought a catamaran that had a blistered bottom, and they stripped and peeled the entire bottom. It's a disaster. So if you've got blistered on your bottom, stay away from that. And not only stay away from that, but stay away from any of those boats made by that manufacturer. Because if one has it, they're all going to have that problem, because it has to do with their techniques for laying up their hulls. So if I play one of your songs and my dog howls, am I gonna unsub? Okay. Yeah, Rhonda's channel has a bunch of big band songs, that kind of stuff on it. Bob steering on that cat is a good example where they had to cut out of the floor and add those 2x4s. You know, and Keith, what's really funny about that is I had literally just gotten done talking to Bob about 2 days before that happened, or actually maybe even more than that, maybe a week before that happened, telling Bob that the problem with the Lagoon catamarans is the structural framing underneath the floors, underneath the decking. And sure enough, that spot had gotten wet. Now, what happens in the Lagoon 440 is the engine compartment has a wood deck built above that for storing gear like scuba gear and stuff, wet stuff. And then it has a fiberglass hatch that closes over the top of that. Now, the hatch usually does a pretty good job of redirecting rain and stuff off the boat. But that second shelf in there, where everybody throws their scuba gear and stuff, that tends to hold the water, and all that water coming off your gear gets down below into the lower part, and it rotted out the timber and the framing. And sure enough, I mean, I called that. I told Bob that was going to be a problem, and that sure enough is where he had a problem. And so now he's just, bailing on the boat completely because of that rotting issue. That can all be fixed, but it's going to take some spending, and I don't think the guy who owns that boat wanted to spend the money to do that. So I feel bad for the guy who bought the boat. He was obviously taken by the charter companies who sold him that boat. This is the problem with buying one of these catamarans out of charter. Friends don't let friends buy old boats. There you go. Lithium batteries for power tools, so worth the upgrade. Absolutely, yes. Lithium batteries do make a difference. Old boats can be some of the best boats for blue water sailing as long as you get one that has been taken. Yeah, absolutely, Keith. Yeah, there are some old boats that are just freaking awesome. I would not buy an all wood boat just because wood has a lot of issues with it. But like an old cow, there are some manufacturers out there that have some boats that are laid up that are just built like brick shit houses. They're really good boats. So, okay, got to run to the head. She'll be back, Bob. She'll be back. 143 Legend has mass problems. 14 have fallen. Yeah, not surprising. The rigging on some of the hunters is kind of light. The diameter of the rigging that they use for their standing rigging is kind of light. Old boats can be great, but always require work. All boats require work, Tim, not just old boats. Old boats, you got a lot of work to do. The newer boats, you still have a lot of work to do. So, Old Cal, Pearson, Bristols are the best. Yes, I agree, Clint. Yep. Some of the old Pearsons are good boats. This one will get some airtime. Miss Lone Star. Yeah, Dave, Miss Porn Star, as we always jokingly refer to her as, has been sort of an issue on YouTube, social media, in the sailing community for a while now. Fairly controversial character, to say the least. I actually think she's doing an awesome job right now. She finally bought an older small cow, and she's fixing it up and trying to make something of herself. And for that, I applaud her. She got a bit of a bad reputation up ahead, a lot of drama, ridiculous drama about her channel. But I'm glad to see the direction she's going in now. So I'm hoping really good things for her. So we're in Australia. Yeah, there you go. Perth, Dayberry. I just got up. It's upright. I applaud her for that too. Yeah, Angela, I think I really applaud her for the fact that she's gotten a boat and she seems to be actually doing the work herself, getting the boat fixed up, putting in the time, the effort, and the energy, and is now starting to try to rebuild her Miss Lone Star channel. So I'm glad, hey, I had a lot of big drama in the past. I put it behind me. She's now put it behind her. I applaud her for that. So I'm hoping all good things for Miss Lone Star going forward. We'll see how all that happens, but not in learning her boat. Yeah, not to get sappy, but I can close my eyes and listen to Grandpa, thinking about my folks and their friends talking and bantering on a Saturday night, having a few. My pop's best friend helped. Well, thanks, Gregor. I appreciate that. Pearson, gone to my head, yeah. Gregor, there used to be a time in America, I remember as a young kid, where we would go over to the neighbors and, weren't invited. We'd just drive over and visit with the neighbors and hang out that evening and socialize. We'd go after dinner, and we'd sit out on the front porch and just talk. And, man, those were such great times. We don't do that as a society. We don't do that anymore. And we should, we should. Those were really good times back then. Oh, well, maybe Declan's right. Maybe the beer's gone to my head. Live and let live. There you go. 245. Design and build the hover dam. He put himself through Stanford. Cool. Yes, Marie, the good old days. But as you guys could probably tell from my voice, I'm getting a little hoarse because I'm talking going on 3 hours here. So I think we are going to go ahead and end this here pretty soon, just because I'm getting a little hoarse. So the mast on MSO's boat is a bit sketchy, though. Mast on Miss Lone Star's boat. Yeah, she's got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. Those cowls are known for having really good thick hulls, well laid up fiberglass hulls. They weren't known for having great masts. So grab another cold one. Tim, I would, but I've already had 2, and that's my limit. I got to call it here. So I think I'm going to have to call it a night. We're getting close to the 3-hour mark. It's 2 hours and 54 minutes, and I'm losing my voice already. So that, and I got to go pee. So I'm going to end it here and take care of business. Meanwhile, guys, we will be back with another live stream on Wednesday, and I hope that'll work for you. So I'm a marine fabricator, welder, and that mast would be going overboard if that was my boat. Yeah, Bob, I agree. Yep. I mean, a pony. All right, guys. Well, you guys all take care. If you would, please do check out my Patreon page. I've only got a few people on there, trying to get that built up, obviously, so I can afford to continue to be able to make content for everybody. But you guys have a great time, and we will catch you at the next live stream on Wednesday, or again on Sunday here again. You guys take care. We'll talk to you later. You have a great time. And for everybody that donated and stuff, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. We'll see you guys later. Bye.